Cole, I don't know how it was in your household. Maybe it was because my sister and I were bratty little kids. I don't know. But, we on Christmas Eve got to open up one present on Christmas Eve to get us through the night, to get us to calm us down, to satiate us a little bit before Christmas morning. Welcome into Wire to Wire. He's Cole Bryson. My name is Diesel, and you Tolos are along for the ride. Why am I making this metaphor, Cole? Well, because you were down in Clemson today for Clemson's Media Day, the day before the eve of ACC kickoff, and it's like getting a tiny little taste, a little something to get you excited, to get you in the mood before the big event starts tomorrow in Charlotte at the Hilton Uptown.
Yeah, and Dabo, whatever Dabo has to say, is going to be completely different than what it's going to be on Thursday, right? No. Let me tell you this. I do love Dabo. I've had a lot of conversations off the air with Dabo in which I've felt like have been meaningful conversations, none of which about football, Diesel, and I do appreciate and respect Dabo a lot. But there are a few things I enjoy less than a Dabo press conference with Clemson media. Let me be clear. With Clemson media, if it's a regular press conference, I'm good. If it's like ACC, I'm good. But Clemson media Dabo press conference, like we hear about the books that he read, the vacation he went on. There was one guy today, and I'm not going to call names. I would if I knew. I just don't know the guy's name. I mean, he's asking about like just stupid things that I don't care about. And I just want
But
Clemson.
they do.
Oh, it's awful.
Clemson fans want to know every little detail. Dabo, where'd you go to lunch today? You went to Chicken Salad Chick. Oh, what kind of chicken salad did you get? Did you get the Sassy Scotty or did you get them? They care about that kind of stuff.
It's just weird. It's weird.
It is.
It's weird.
It's a little cultish. I'm not gonna lie.
Look, I mean, there are a lot of really good people that cover Clemson, but sometimes it's just one of those things where it's like, man, can we talk about football? Can we talk about quarterbacks? He didn't like my question. He didn't have a problem with it. I asked him about not bringing Vizina.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't like get mad at me, but he said,
did he glare at you? Did you give it a look?
No, I said, is too much being made? And he said, well, I don't know. Is there, like he said it in a jokingly way. And
come on, Dabo.
I honestly don't think he listens to local radio, so he probably don't know that.
But it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that if you don't bring a quarterback to ACC media days, people are going to say, hey,
ask questions.
Why didn't you bring a quarterback to ACC media days? Does that mean the job is not entirely Christopher Vizina's? Does that mean there's still a little bit of a quarterback battle? What do you mean? What do you mean? Come on, Dabo, you know what we mean.
I asked him about it, and then Chapel Fowler actually followed up right after because Dabo kind of played it off like Dabo does. And Chapel came back and said, well, I think the main question is why Vizina didn't go. And Dabo was basically like, well, the ACC gets to choose one of the three. Last year, which I didn't realize this until he said this. Last year, it was 4. You got 4 players last year. They cut it down to 3 this year.
Was it 4 guys there last year? Okay.
I don't remember who they were. I mean, I know one of them was – who were the 4 guys there last year for Clemson? It was Cade. Cade was one of them.
Yeah, Cade was there.
TJ Parker, Peter Woods. Yeah, there were 4 last year. It was Cade, TJ, Peter, and one more. But I just can't remember who it was. Was it like Blake Miller? Was it Avian Terrell? No, maybe it was Avian. We talked to him. He was on our station. I just can't remember who it was.
Adam Randall, maybe.
Nonetheless, it was, I will say, Clemson does a good job with their media outing. This is the 3rd year in a row I've been. We have a ton of audio on the show today talking about or audio from Clemson coaches. I will appreciate the fact that not everybody plays golf. What I mean by that is South Carolina does birdies with Beamer, which is cool.
That's fun.
If you play golf, but if you don't, you don't get a chance to go talk to him and the assistant coach.
But that's the point of like playing Top Golf or something like that. You don't have to be good at it to enjoy it.
Oh, but I'm not going to go play golf with people who are good at golf.
You're not going to embarrass yourself to get a question into Shane Beamer? You're not going to shank one over into the woods like old Scotty Scheffler is doing these days?
No.
Hey, Shane, what do you think about the spread option this year?
No, not at all. I'm not going to do it. I would caddy. I would caddy.
You whack one way off over into the right-hand side and be like, Shane, what do you think the chances are your season looks like my shot there, way off into the rough?
I would, if they, and maybe I'll mention this to them because I'm sure they value my input, I would caddy. I think that would be fun. Just
caddy digital golf.
Just go out there and caddy for whoever.
Oh, they do it on a real golf course.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whoever the good players are, I'd go caddy. That'd be fun to me.
Does everybody get to play a hole with Shane Beamer?
No, you're split on teams. They split it up. Oh. You register for the event, and then they come back and say, here are the teams. It's foursomes.
I understand that what I got to experience 5 years ago, maybe, when Clemson did their Media Olympics. That's like above and beyond what any other school does, right? They brought everybody in for this media day. They had us testing our verticals, which I don't know if you know this, Cole. Not very many people in the sports media world have much of a vertical. I mean, it's more of a negative vertical for a lot of us. They had us trying to kick field goals with no instruction whatsoever. It was put the ball on a tee and kick it, and then get out of the way because we don't want to talk to you. I mean, the kicking coach doesn't want to talk to so-and-so from the Clemson media to teach them how to kick. They don't want to do that. They had like a tug of war. They had passes to the corner of the end zone, things like that.
See, I wouldn't be good at it.
There's a lot to set up for an event like that.
That's why they're not doing it anymore.
Probably so. But it was a lot of fun. Yeah. So, not that Clemson, I think, needs to ingratiate itself to the local media around here. When Clemson says, hey, we're doing an event, like everyone shows up. Everyone's going to come.
It's a big crowd.
No matter what.
This morning, yeah.
Right. So they don't really need to do all that stuff. It's just still a lot of fun when they do.
Birdies with Beamer is July the 30th, Cobblestone Park Golf Club. This is volume 6 of Birdies with Beamer. The 4-man best shot golf tournament will have a 10:30 a.m. shotgun start. So, Diesel, if you're a golfer, if I played golf, I'd go. Catered meal, media availabilities after, I'd go. But I just, again, I don't play golf. So
it's like a regular golf tournament with a chance to talk to Beamer afterward. That's good. Like, let me go out there and get sweaty as hell. In July in Columbia on a golf course,
and hammered,
stankin' drunk. Yeah, because everybody knows you can't play golf.
And then you go interview the coach,
and then you got to go talk to the coach, stinking like sweat and BO and Anheuser-Busch. That's just bad all around.
I do have some breaking news about my trip this morning to Clemson.
Okay. Any speeding tickets on the way down or back? Oh no. No, you did not. No, you did not.
Let me say, I did not get a ticket. I did not get a ticket, but I did get a warning this morning. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Now that's on the air and our boss is listening, now neither one of us is going to be allowed to drive a station vehicle.
No, I've been on a bad streak lately. I was just getting a ticket dropped, 2 weeks ago? So I've been bad lately. I've got to get a little bit better on that. Got to slow down a little bit.
They make governors for passenger vehicles. You need one.
Here's what happened. I got stuck in Greenville traffic. I sat here for like 45 minutes. It was awful this morning at 385.
Took you longer to get out of Greenville than it did to drive the whole way.
No lie. So I was trying to shave a few minutes off. I think I got there around 9. I was trying to shave a few minutes off. And, in my head, I was thinking if I go 60 and I'm 9 miles away, I can get there in 9 or so minutes. And the GPS had it at 15. And that's kind of my goal. When I see the time on the GPS, I want to try to beat it and be competitive.
Reduce it by a minute by the time you get there.
Let's try to reduce it, shave some time off. And I did. And next thing I know, I look in the rearview mirror and there's blue lights. He was a not happy person today.
Oh.
No. So that's why I was surprised. He gave me a warning. Thank God. But I did.
Did you tell him where you were going?
No, I didn't. I should have been like, hey, I'm trying to go, to the media thing for Clemson. No, I took it like a man, I guess.
I'm waiting for the day. Did you ever see the movie The Campaign with Will Ferrell?
No. Yes, I did.
He's a politician, Eastern North Carolina. He's got his own face on the side of his window. So it had like Cam Robinson or whatever his name was in that particular movie. Vote for Cam's something such.
Not Pedro.
And he rolls down the window and he's wearing the exact same outfit that he is in the photo that was used on the outside of the car. That needs to be what you do.
I need a little something. I do need to slow it down. I've been on a little bad streak lately. By the way, World Cup action back on live from the Big D. How about that?
Hey.
Live in Dallas. We have France and Spain, Diesel, that just got underway.
Four.
I'm looking forward. Hey, I believe it or not, I'm looking forward to this. I really am.
There cannot be a self-respecting American that is pulling for France.
No.
There's no reason.
They'll pull for Spain.
No, I don't mean. I know it's because French people are snooty, snobby people. They're also smelly because they don't wear deodorant over there, Cole. But, France has been a good friend to us.
Let's do a little jersey
50-year career.
A little jersey check. We've got Spain and France. If you didn't know, if you're working, watching the show, listening, driving home, World Cup's on. This is the Final Four, so you better get involved.
Correct.
France is in blue, white shorts.
Blue tops, white shorts.
And Spain's in all white, or is that red?
So France also has the red socks on. So France is dressed like the French flag.
Yeah.
Spain is dressed in white jerseys with burgundy shorts and white socks.
I like it. I not being a diehard soccer fan, to be transparent with you, I have to do that every time I watch soccer. I have to say, okay, well, who's who? Like, which team's which? Yeah. This one's easy, though. France is in blue, Spain's in white.
It's the World Cup quarterfinals, though. They should be doing color rush. Like, Spain should be wearing yellow or gold jerseys with the orange or the red shorts. Yeah,
so here we go. This is underway, 11 minutes in, by the way. And do you know France, I would imagine, off the top of your head, do you know who's projected to win this one?
I don't. I mean, these are both teams. Top four teams in the world. And so it's no surprise that either one of these teams got here. As far as who's
it was
favored
all
in this
chalk,
game,
wasn't it? It was all chalk. I mean, these were the four favorites they predicted.
Well, with all the cheating that it took to get England into this thing, and the cheating it took to get Argentina into this thing, it's chalk when they ignore the ball hitting the wire, when they give Messi extra chances.
So France was favored going into this game.
Oh,
yeah, plus 155 according to FanDuel. Listen to this.
But remember, that's in regulation. So if you wager,
stop. Yeah, I remember.
God, you've been just
$35. $35. But listen to this, Diesel. France is plus 155. Spain's plus 200. A draw, which can't happen, by the way, in regulation it can.
Correct.
Is plus 195. So Vegas has. This is kind of the cool thing about soccer. Vegas thinks there's a better chance of these two teams ending regulation in a tie than they do Spain winning the match. I think that's fascinating. Vegas thinks there's a better chance it ends in a tie.
Sure.
Than Spain winning the match altogether.
More things to gamble on. Because I don't know that they don't really gamble on spreads the way they do in football, American football.
I don't think so.
So that's the
and
way.
By the way,
do it.
This one's in Jerry World, so hopefully he leaves the blinds, the tent that he has on the big stained glass
looks
outside
dark
the
in
stadium.
there. Might be a little cloudy.
It does look a little dark, but that's cool. That's cool. There we go. I don't know if the roof's open or not. They might have the roof closed, the retractable. Not the whole roof.
It retracts?
In the
didn't
middle.
know that.
In the middle.
Fascinating.
I say roof, but what's it called? Not the whole roof, just the big.
Is it like a tarp?
No.
Like an awning?
I would say it covers the majority of the field. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say most of the roof retracts.
Fascinating.
Yeah, there you go.
Cole, we got sidetracked. We started having conversation. You and I both got our ballots for the ACC honors this year. And I was going to, in this segment, ask you and the Tolos to be a part of submitting my ballot this year for the best players. We don't really have time to get into that now. We don't have time to get all the way into it, but we can get started.
Have you done it already?
I have not. Have you?
No. I'm going to do it after
media days.
Okay. Yeah. I don't feel
you need to
like
look into their eyes first.
Yeah, I need to smell them, sniff them a little bit, just see what's going on. And do you smell like rice and beans, or do you smell like championship material? I don't know. And this is where we'll vote for ACC champion, and you might have the list pulled up. ACC honors, the whole shebang, right?
Let's see. Let me find that email because, knowing me and my sense of timing, I just closed it right before that happened. So we're going to be voting. It makes
me nervous to vote on that kind of stuff.
We'll vote for here the best quarterback, tight end, center, place kicker, punter, Let's see. Running back, offensive tackle, guard, ends,
Every
corners,
position.
Safeties. We'll get to pick a couple of wide receivers and linebackers, best water boy, best looking cheerleaders, all of it. So we're going to be voting for all of those things. I think you're right. I think it's probably better to wait until after. But a good question for you, Tolos, is who do you think is going to be the best quarterback in the ACC this year? If not Darian Mensah, who will be the best quarterback in the ACC this year?
Is it a foregone conclusion that most people are going to vote Mensah? You think
probably?
So? I don't know that I am.
The teams, they're picked first by Phil Steele to finish first. Kevin Jennings from SMU. He's been in that system now for a couple of years.
I like that.
And I think Kevin Jennings, a guy that Cole amassed almost 4,000 yards last year, 3,863 yards through the air, started 13 games. He's not the biggest kid. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. He'd like him to be a little closer to 6'2", 200 pounds. But if he was 6'2", 200 pounds, he wouldn't be playing for SMU. He'd be playing for Texas instead.
And I think this is a fun conversation because, like you said, I do think most people will vote Mensah as the best quarterback, and maybe he is. I'm not saying that he's not good. I'm not saying that he can't be. I think Miami will win the conference, but I just don't know, best quarterback. Kevin Jennings has shown me a lot. And again, I've watched a lot of Darian Mensah too, and he's a very talented quarterback. But Kevin Jennings, he's different, man. And right now, before the season, I would lean Kevin Jennings a little bit more than I would Darian Mensah.
Fascinating.
Darian Mensah might have a better team around them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When it's, yesterday we were talking about the NFL quarterbacks. Darian Mensah may have a better group, but I like Kevin Jennings a lot. And who knows? there might be a dark horse that comes out of here. Who was the transfer? You mentioned was it Bo Prabula yesterday you mentioned?
Yeah, Prabula's coming in. Who is he transferring to? That's who
From
I can't
Missouri
remember.
To Virginia.
Yes, Missouri to Virginia.
Tony Elliott.
Let's see. Louisville's going to be starting a transfer quarterback this year as well, though he wasn't a starter last year. Lincoln Kleinholtz from Ohio State.
And see, that's my whole thing on Louisville. Talking about best quarterback for a second. Jeff Brom, he's a quarterback whisperer. Jeff Brom can develop and train quarterbacks, right? So you kind of feel like Louisville's going to be in an okay position.
Yeah.
My point is, I know people will just say Mensah out of the gate, but I think that there might be a couple that sneak up on you. Let me throw a really wild curveball at you. What if I told you that when it's all said and done, and maybe you think injury has something to do with this, and I'm not wishing injury on anyone. What if I said Tate Reynolds was the best quarterback in the ACC?
Wow.
How wild of a curveball would that be?
Ooh, that means he jumps Christopher Vezina either in camp or in the first couple weeks of the season. I could see him replacing Christopher Vezina against LSU. What if Christopher Vezina loses his starting job in the first half against LSU? He comes out late and
bad.
Throws a pick or two, commits a fumble, just looks lost out there, right? Takes a couple of sacks. And then Dabo Swinney says, you know what? We're already down 21 points at halftime. Might as well throw Tate Reynolds out there and see what happens.
And my only thing is,
if he comes out there with some confidence,
he could. And again, I think Tate Reynolds is going to have a really good college career at Clemson. I just don't know that I have a lot of confidence in Dabo Swinney to make a move like that. I don't know that Dabo pulls Vezina mid-game. I think Vezina would have to just absolutely crap the bed for that. Bad.
That's a good question. How bad would it have to be for Dabo to pull him at halftime?
Couple interceptions, maybe 3. It'd be bad. Dabo's a loyal guy. Even Chad Morris said today, and by the way, you'll hear from Chad Morris next, but even Chad said today, Vezina, a big reason he's the guy is because he's earned it. He's been there. They're loyal. Sometimes to a fault, but I don't know. The ACC, I know it's not the best conference, but I do think this quarterback conversation is interesting.
There's some interesting names out there, Cole. Some dark horses, perhaps. Maybe Alberto Mendoza comes in to Georgia Tech, and he plays well. CJ Bailey's a junior at NC State this year. He's been around the system for a little while. They won 8 games last year. They weren't amazing, but they weren't bad. They bring back four offensive starters, only 2 defensive starters. Oof, it's going to be a tough year for the NC State Wolfpack. James Franklin is bringing a transfer quarterback with him from Penn State. Let's see. His name is Ethan Grunkenmeyer. Love his cookies as well. Sophomore quarterback. I think Virginia Tech, looking at their schedule, Cole, when you look at their ACC slate, Boston College, Pitt, Cal, Georgia Tech, at Clemson, at SMU, Stanford, at Miami, and Virginia. The back half of that season, starting in mid-October, is going to be really tough. But what if? What if James Franklin turns this team around? They'll beat VMI. They should beat Old Dominion. They should beat Maryland. Mm-hmm. They should beat Boston College. Pitt might be a little bit of a battle there. They should beat Cal and should beat Georgia Tech. They could be 6-1.
Could be
by week 7 of the season.
Could be.
And then the wheels could really fall off the back half of the season. Like I said, really tough on the road at Clemson, on the road at SMU, on the road at Miami, and then a home game against the best Virginia team they might have had in a long, long time to close out the season.
And, I know we'll talk about this a lot over the next 3 days, but one storyline I think is interesting from an ACC perspective is how much does Georgia Tech drop off from the Haynes King, Brent Key, Georgia Tech? I think there will be a drop off. I just don't know how much drop off there will be. I think that's a really interesting storyline.
I mean, really, we're putting all of the chips in the last name basket. I mean, his last name is Mendoza. So what? Yeah. Right? So what?
It doesn't impress me. I mean,
he's Fernando's little brother.
I was going to say.
So what? You got Kitty play.
That kid grew up quick, by the way. It seems like during the national championship, he was just 9 years old. Oh, that's the other brother. Gotcha. Sorry. Different brother. It is going to be a lot of fun. I will say, I don't know that it's fair to the kid that his last name's Mendoza because some people will just expect him to be good. He might not be worth the crap. He may be. We'll see. Oh, by the way, look at there. 21 minutes in. 22 minutes in. Spain has just taken a 1-0 lead, Diesel, over France.
Tapas are better than French snails. That is for sure.
Let's go Spain. We're all pulling for Spain. Is that right?
I think so.
Okay, good.
I think so. Tolos, who you got in this match? Look at those French fans. They are upset.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should become big Spain. Let's ride Spain all the way. If they beat France, let's just ride them all the way to the championship. I think. Texter says the only thing that Tate Reynolds is winning is the Jelly of the Month membership.
Hey, Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving all year round.
It is, even in July. Speaking of Clemson, speaking of Chad Morris, Tom Allen, those guys, let's start with defense. Tom Allen had a chance to get some audio from him earlier today. This Clemson defense last year was not good, especially in the pass defense, Diesel. Audio, listen, and react from what the defensive coordinator in his second year at Clemson had to say next. Well, Diesel, last year was year one for Tom Allen. And it wasn't a great year. They were good in areas. But I was really intrigued to hear Tom Allen this morning because, I watched a lot of Clemson games last year, especially that SMU game where I was there, and they SMU just like a knife through butter, if you will. I really, of course, am enamored by the quarterback and running back and all that stuff. But I think more than anything right now on the 14th day of July for Clemson, I'm intrigued about this defense. This defense has got to be better. This defense, as you saw, years and years ago when Clemson was winning championships, this defense is what carried them to championships. Yeah. And this audio coming up from Tom Allen, this is an important year for Tom.
Flashback a year ago, Cole, Penn State, or Tom Allen was coming from Penn State, who had a top 10 defense, the seventh best defense in the country, allowing 294 yards per game. That's a 40-yard gulf between first place, which was Ohio State, 254 a game, Penn State, 294 per game. But Tom Allen was coming in with every bit of hype, every bit of belief that he was going to resurrect this Clemson defense, especially considering the absolute studs that he was going to have playing under his system.
Yeah.
And look, nobody walks in on day one with the perfect players to run their type of system. But Dabo Swinney had dudes on that defense last year. We saw it. How many of them got drafted? 4 of them got drafted in the first round this year. Mm-hmm. That defense was loaded with studs. They should be able to play almost anyone's system when they're that good. And not one of them, I think, Cole, really lived up to the expectation that we thought Clemson's defense was going to be. SMU torched him. Duke torched him. A lot of people torched him.
I think Sammy Brown and Will Helt, the two that are going to be in Charlotte Thursday, were the only really two bright spots. I mean, Peter Woods and TJ Parker at times were good, but in the pass defense, they were horrible. They were just horrible. And here's what Tom Allen had to say. Let's do a little listen and react. We won't get to all of this audio, but Tom Allen, defensive coordinator, just a couple of hours ago on this season, and you'll hear some of that audio right now. Well, let's try that again. Let's count down 3, 2, 1. Cole, can you get it right this time? Let's try this time.
For the system, so you got a whole group of guys that have a better understanding of what we do and how we do it.
Did you hear that out of the gate? A group of guys that I'm gonna. That's 9 seconds in. I think that's telling what he said, and I'm sorry to stop it so soon, but one more time.
Yeah, I just think it's year 2 for the system, so you got a whole group of guys that have a better understanding of what we do and how we do it.
Year 2, of course, matters, but a group of guys, Diesel, that have a better understanding of what we do and how we do it.
Which means they didn't have an understanding
last year. No, they were lost. That's what they said this morning. They said they were lost at times defensively last year. More from Tom.
And then the communication, that's a big part of it for sure, for all positions. And I think that as we've addressed with adding some guys in, by different means, whether it's a portal or out of high school, to be able to bring in guys here that fit what we're looking for, from a body type perspective and mindset that you have towards how we play this game. And I think just, being another year in the system, so that's been the focus is, I would say communication, number 1, the execution, number 2, have been probably the top 2 priorities that we've had with our guys this whole off season, and be able to take that into, all the meetings leading up into spring football, and then obviously all the meetings and things that we're able to do with them, for the rules for this summer, so excited to be able to get it back on the field and then be in a normal fall camp mode so we can be with our guys on a consistent basis. But the focus has been, communication, execution, confidence, in what we're doing because of the knowledge that you have, within understanding it better, because you're a year older in a system or you're a guy that might, maybe fit it a little bit better.
I don't think the group last year, for as talented as they were, I don't think they did what they were supposed to do. Not taking the blame away from Allen. I don't think that group did what they were supposed to do to learn the communication, and that's why you have so many lapses, especially in big moments last year.
Yeah, I mean, it begs the question, why did they fail the way they did last year?
Yeah.
Was it And again, we're hammering the guys that ended up being first round draft picks.
Sure.
They still have a lot of talent and a lot of ability.
They do.
But did they lack the ability to, or did they lack the desire to?
There you go.
And what he said there, he said we're able to get guys in here that fit what we want to do.
Yeah.
So to me, that tells me that Clemson's defense, and you might know better than I do, Cole, how differently the defense was structured and built the year prior under Wes Goodwin. Maybe those guys, they love Wes so much that they just chose not to buy into Tom Allen's system, or are they just not the right guys at all, body style, the quickness, the footwork, everything that they needed them to do? Did they not have the ability?
I'm intrigued by it. That whole conversation, I really am, because they've got to be better this year. They've got to be. And I think they will be. I think they will be more from Tom.
Yeah, what you would expect, from a guy that's a veteran now, from a leadership perspective. He's,
by the way, talking about Sammy Brown here.
Everybody knows he's a tremendous player. He's an amazing person. Just my challenge to him has been the verbal leadership piece, which is always the next challenge for a guy. Wade really kind of embraced that a year ago, and now that's falls on him. And so sometimes that's a little uncomfortable, to be having to do those things, and just knowing, hey, when do I insert myself and when do I not, and knowing the difference, I think is key. But he's from a work perspective, he's always been a guy that's conscientious of his body and take care of things. But I think that's gone to another level. I've seen that. I think he's in tremendous shape right now, and is doing a phenomenal job leading. You expect a guy like that to run meetings now, instead of just be a participant, and that's part of the growth and the way the summers are structured right now. He has to be able to do that, to be able to do those kind of things. And you got a veteran guy in that position to not just run the backers, but make sure all the meetings are being done right and all the things are being done a certain way when we're not with them, which in the summertime we're not with them near as much. So I've loved seeing him do that with the limited time I can be with him. But at the same time, he's just, he feels it. He knows that, he wants this season to be different, and I think that's, he took it personal, and I love that about him, and obviously he's a guy that's, he's pretty special, and in a lot of different ways, and you have so much respect for his family and the way they've raised him, and he's a testament to that. So it's fun to be around, but I'm excited for him to take everything, from performance to execution himself and leadership and everything, just to grow and take another big step, to allow him to be special. Yeah, so been a big offseason for him, and challenged them all individually. I think Kobe and Jeremiah have kind of separated themselves, within the group, to be able to be in position, just the personal challenges I've given to those guys and Coach Bulware as well, this whole offseason, and that's a big part of it. And man, your linebackers, they make you who you are as a defense. Never had a great defense without great linebackers. That will never cease to be the case. And so that's a huge challenge to them. And I tell them, man, it's about leadership and production, about that group. That doesn't change. I said the same thing a year ago, and I'll keep saying it in the future because that's what that position demands. And so those guys have to step up. They got to lead and they got to produce. And so you do that by being, physically in great shape, that's obviously the whole offseason is for that. And also mentally being able to with confidence run that defense. And when I say that's a loud and confident is said for a reason from me as the leader of the defense, that those guys have got to have that edge about them on the field, and you only can have that when your preparation is at elite level, and you have absolutely no doubt that you're right when you make a check and adjustment. And to me, that's big. And so that whole room, whether it's CJ, Cuba Taylor, and Fletch, and Drew Woodell, all those guys as a collective group, we've got to be whoever steps on that field. There's a lot of competition at that position, and that's a good thing. It makes all of us better. So I'm excited to see that group continue to have a great finish to the summer and then a great fall camp. Yeah, I think you go back and you've definitely used time to reflect in the offseason to, we obviously stopped the run. And
I think this was a question. I don't know if this is the one I asked, but In a minute, Diesel, you'll hear me, or actually you won't because I cut the questions out. You'll hear him talk about trust being a big part of how soon these guys get on the field. And maybe this is it. Let's see.
A way better way. We tackle better, but we got to continue to tackle the elite level. We got to continue to stop the run, but we also have to advance. To me, and obviously our pass defense is obviously has to be massively improved, and that's the focus. Communication, execution is going to be the focus there with that group. But at the same time, red zone, I want to see us be better. We take a lot of pride in that part of the field, and have been really, really good in that area for many, many years. And so I feel like there's some critical times we did not get the job done, which really can totally change outcomes of games. And so that's been a big emphasis as well, and just trying to emphasize and find more ways to create negative plays, for the offense. And so the disruption, and to try to do some things and make some changes, structurally, to be able to help us do a better job of that. And that's been a big focus for our staff and for our guys this whole offseason. And everything we do is about being able to create those more negative plays, whereas the TFLs, the sacks, and to be able to put us in an advantageous position on third downs. We were really good on third downs last year. Got to be elite on fourth downs. Overall, statistically, we were good on fourth downs, but I saw some critical times we weren't, some critical game situations. And I think that's probably for me, is like, okay, you know what? In those critical moments, we got to be at our best. And how do we create that? And that, to me, that's what stuck out to me too. Is a lot of good things, but it's some really critical times, or even some momentum times, where there were breakdowns in either communication or execution that allowed us to not get what we want. But have a lot of time to be able to go through all that, and we have. And I'm excited about some of the things that we've adapted and changed to create those, and are going to obviously continue to work on those. Last couple weeks of this summer and then in the fall game. Yeah, there's definitely, you got, Andy, Burberry is coming to us new, so he was not here in the spring. So that's a new piece that we'll have. And he's obviously been here all summer, but and then, DeVark Woods is another guy that's new to our roster that wasn't here in the spring. And then, Amari was with his late season injury, was just coming back. And so he was, in a modified role during the spring. So those three guys did not practice, with our, full live groups, or weren't even here during spring. So that's a major change. And then just the younger guys growing up, obviously you're bringing some new guys like Marcus Strong, who was here in the spring, but is new to Clemson. And we put a lot on him from a leadership perspective because of his maturity that he brought with him, and a big reason why we wanted him here. And that's been a really big positive for us. And then also Vic Burley and Champ Tom, those guys taking that next step. Those are going to be, that's a critical group for us, for finishing out the summer and into fall camp. Continues to be a focus. We need to have a strength in numbers in that group. So whoever steps in that game to be able to play at an elite level, and to me, to be collectively a very, very strong group. So their execution, their ability to disrupt, to stop the run, to be a factor in the pass rush game is going to be big for us, and then just maximizing, the whole defensive line to be, a group that has a toughness to them and an edge about them that you have to play elite defense, just like
Tom Allen, voice of Tom Allen there, Diesel, defensive coordinator at Clemson. I'll say this. Of course, I could be wrong here. I really believe this defensive unit's going to be a lot better this year. Mm-hmm. Not just because I'm believing what he says and buying into the hype of this defense being better, but just in terms of this guy's proven it at a high level, Tom Allen has, in other stops, and he's just too good. This is where I settle at. He's too good of a coordinator not to get this thing turned around at Clemson. And will they still struggle at times this year? I think so. But I just telling you, man, I watched the Clemson defense last year, Diesel, that I had not seen at Clemson in a long time. I mean, just putrid at times, right?
Yeah.
I think he's going to get it turned around.
I think they have two offenses they're going to face this year that are really going to push them. I think LSU will push them, and obviously I think Miami will push them. Outside of that, Cole, they don't really play the powerhouse offenses until maybe they get to the tail end of the season, and we'll see what South Carolina can be by the time they play them. But
LSU will be tough.
LSU will out-talent them. Miami probably could or will out-talent them. Outside of that, I mean, it's still kind of it's every year kind of scheduling here for Clemson. It's an easy slate. Georgia Southern, North Carolina, at Cal, Miami, bye week, Charleston Southern, Virginia Tech with a new head coach. Florida State still trying to figure themselves out. Syracuse, Georgia Tech, Duke without Darian Mensah, and then South Carolina at the end of the season. I don't think they're going to get tested that much. But here's the problem. Last year, you look at what they did last year and the yardage that they gave up in some of these games. Again, these are not necessarily the powerhouse offenses either, but they gave up 433 yards of offense against Syracuse. They gave up 429 yards against SMU. That one, you can kind of understand that one because Jennings is a really good quarterback. 439 yards against Duke, 385 on the road at Louisville, 422 they gave up against South Carolina. This defense was loaded with NFL first-round picks. Just crap the bed. They just didn't show up in some weeks. And so, Cole, like we talked about before, was the issue with those guys, was it the inability to, or it was the lack of desire to? And that really is going to be the big question with so many starters coming back on this defense. 4 starters who were on this team last year. They picked up 1 additional starter in the transfer portal, but they've got some experience on this defense, Cole, and it's now Sammy Brown's team leading them from the linebacking position with his 19 starts under his belt. Can he be the dude? And we're going to be able to look into his eyes on Thursday and find out just how confident Sammy Brown and his ability to be the man on this defense.
Well, I'll say this, 2 things. First, on Sammy Brown, I have all the confidence in the world that Sammy Brown will show up again this year. He's the best player on the defense. He is. He'll be playing on Sundays, and he's a guy that's a high motor, high impact guy. His brother's also committed to Clemson out of Jefferson, Georgia. So he's a stud. He's a unit. He'll be playing on Sundays, like I said. And I have no doubt that he'll show up. He's just one of those kind of guys. You wish you had 10 more of them. Right now, the second thing, real quick before we run to a break, you mentioned the offenses they'll play from a defensive perspective. Yeah, I think I agree with you. They don't play a lot of dynamic quarterbacks.
Right.
They do not play Kevin Jennings, and that's kind of who hurt him last year. Mm-hmm. They do play Steve Angeli. I think Steve Angeli's, didn't he get hurt last year?
Yeah.
Steve Angeli's a good quarterback.
I think amazing his first couple weeks.
I think he's underrated. And that game's at Syracuse, by the way. So,
and we'll see how healthy he really is coming back.
I think that could be a game just to put a little asterisk beside Diesel.
Interesting.
A November 7th game. That game's not on a Friday. Let's see. That's a Saturday. Okay. But from the quarterback position, you've got LSU, Sam Levitt, Darian Mensah, you mentioned, Steve Angeli. I'm going to put his name in there because he's good. And Lenora Sellers. I think those are the 4 games, the 4 quarterbacks that you just kind of wonder, okay, this is where this defense is going to have to really step up.
Because they're spread out with lots of time to prepare for them also.
And if they lose those 4 games, again, it's another disappointing season. You did that last year and lost to the good quarterbacks. You can't do it again.
Short segment when we come back, Cole, the P word that the MLB Players Association used to describe the tactics that Major League Baseball ownership is taking and trying to win fans over on the concept of a salary cap. We'll end the hour with that next. It's fascinating, Cole, that you've got players in Major League Baseball like Shohei Ohtani making $70 million a year. Juan Soto making $51 million. Zach Wheeler, $42 million. Aaron Judge, $40 million. Vladimir Guerrero and Alex Bregman, both of them on their respective clubs, making around $40 million a year. Using the word perverse when it comes to the tactics taken by Major League Baseball and the commissioner's office as they have publicly advertised and shopped to the public the idea that, hey, we think we should have a salary cap in Major League Baseball. This is a quote here from the commissioner's office, or from the Players Association. I've watched over the last 2 years how the owners, the commissioner's office, try to convince fans, the consumers of their product, that the product is broken. I think it's perverse. They're advertising, Cole, all over the place that they're paying too damn much and they need to have a salary cap. But that is rich coming from guys that are making $70 million a year. That to me is what's perverse.
You know what's crazy about that? And I know this is a really unpopular take and sounds crazy. Mm-hmm. The guys playing the sport shouldn't have an opinion. I'm sorry. They can have an opinion, but they shouldn't have so much say.
Right.
I mean, what? You are making this type of money. No. You play the sport. You're going to let us figure it out and how to structure the sport. Like, I am all for players associations. All for it. And equal, like all that stuff. Equality, right?
They should be fighting for things like in the movie Moneyball, not having to pay $1 for a soda in the clubhouse.
Man. And like we're letting the guys, think about that. We're letting the guys who are making the most money run the sport. Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, duh. They're going to get what they want? I don't know. I'm a big fan of the salary cap.
I love the idea of a salary cap so long as it comes with a salary floor also. Take away the ability for the Dodgers to do what they've done in diverting Shohei Ohtani's salaries and the salaries of the guys that got on their team. But also make sure that the cheapest teams in baseball, a couple years ago, it was the Orioles. I don't know who, I know the Brewers usually don't spend a whole lot of money either. The Marlins as well. Make sure that all of those owners have to spend more on their players, because it's a travesty that Jordan Walker, who won the home run derby last night, Cole, made more money winning the home run derby than he made on his than he will make on his entire salary this year with the Cardinals. He's making $800,000 a year playing for the Cardinals this year. He made $1 million just by hitting some home runs in batting practice last night.
That's insane.
I mean,
that is insane.
I don't understand
good for him.
How players like him aren't on the other side of this pushing and saying, hey, salary cap for the guy that's making $70 million and a salary floor for me. Because I mean, let's be real. He's still making $800,000 to go out there and play a kid's game, and that's a pretty good life. Mm-hmm. But I mean, $800,000, I would love to know what it feels like to make that kind of money.
Yeah, but compared to Shohei money,
when you're a pro athlete, you're putting your body through a lot for less than $1 million a year.
That's chocolate chips compared to what Shohei's making.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
Imagine working with somebody who makes 70 times your salary.
Yeah, it'd be tough. It'd be tough. It really would be. Tolos, when we come back, what did Dabo Swinney have to say today? We'll get into it. I believe it's Tom in Somerville on the Joy Law Firm text line that is rolling in already. Rolling in with some hate towards Clemson. I think it is. I think it is. I'm pretty sure. And we'll get into what Dabo had to say next right here on the Fan Upstate. Well, Dabo, Swinney, and assistant coaches spoke to the media today at Clemson's open house, Clemson's Media Day. They host every single July up at Clemson, and we have had a chance to get to some of the audio from Tom Allen and others on the show. But now it's Dabo's turn. The opening statement, Diesel, today was how long? Do you want to take a guess?
I'm going to guess 6 minutes and 17 seconds.
It was like 4:48.
Oh,
a little bit shorter.
Cutting it short. Look at Dabo learning a little bit. Did they let you get on the slide today?
No, I didn't even go. I didn't even go where the slide is. It's in a different part of the building. I didn't even go over there.
It's right inside the front door.
No,
the base
not
of
that.
The slide's inside the front door.
Not that building.
Oh, you didn't go to the Allen Reeves complex today?
No, we did, but I don't think we came in the door where the slide is.
Oh,
I don't think I hadn't seen. Again, the 3 years I've been there in a row, I hadn't seen the slide. Now maybe it's like a snake and it'd bite me if I wasn't paying attention. But I don't. Maybe I'm going in a different door. Maybe I'm going in the back.
You walk
door.
In the front door. You take a left.
No, I
go back through the locker rooms and then boom.
Oh no! I
big slides there.
When I go in, I go to the right.
Oh, they didn't let you wander. See, we wandered off.
No, I didn't wander much today. I didn't wander. So a lot of good audio, though, from assistant coaches, Tom Allen, CJ Spiller, Taj Boyd, that kind of stuff. And one fascinating tweet that I did tweet out, Dabo brought this up. He wasn't asked about it. But of his, let's go to this tweet. Of his 80-ish staff members, Diesel, let's see. Of his 80-ish staff members, 26 to 28 are former Clemson players. It's a pretty big, I know you're a math guy. That's a pretty large percentage of your entire staff, right?
Yeah, that's somewhere around 35%, 40%.
Yeah.
28 out of 80?
Yeah. I mean, it's only a big deal if you make it a big deal. It's only a big deal if you make it a big deal. When Clemson loses, guess what? Clemson fans and people make it a big deal, right? Mm-hmm. If they're winning, it's not a big deal. It's like anything. It's just the way it is. When they're losing, they got too many former Clemson players. You know, you got to get all these Clemson players off the staff.
Look, you got to hire people that you know. That's a lot of these coaches hire people that they know, especially if they've been around somewhere for a while. Every school's got alumni on the coaching staff.
Yep, and it's only a big deal if you want to make it a big deal and your season's not going as planned. Welcome into Wire to Wire. He's Diesel. I'm Cole Bryson. So good to be with you on this Tolo Tuesday. Reminder, we are live tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, live in Charlotte on Radio Row at Uptown. It is the Hilton Uptown. Is that right?
The Hilton Charlotte Uptown.
Hilton Charlotte Uptown will be live on Radio Row just inside the doors.
Is it going to be sunny this week? I need to know if I need to bring my sunscreen because they have this huge glass roof over our heads, and it gets bright, it gets hot, and you get a sunburn in there, man.
It's like a big open roof. Well, the good thing is the stream, we're not doing a social media stream, thank God, because that sun just gets in. Remember last year, or was it 2 years ago?
It got so bright that it literally broke the camera on my computer.
Yeah,
like it washed it out. It looked like I was being raptured.
Yeah, that's why we're not doing a stream, by the way, Tolos. So quick programming reminder, we'll be live. This week's very Clemson heavy. We get it. Clemson's Media Day this week and ACC Media Days all week. Next week's SEC Media Day. So it'll be Carolina focused next week and SEC focused and then Big Ten focused the following week, Diesel. You've got
Conference of Champions right there.
The Conference of Champions. Pac-12 After Dark. What are they doing? There's all like on a YouTube stream or something. I mean, sorry. That shouldn't make jokes about the Pac-12.
I think they're doing it from a 24-hour Wawa.
Yeah. Let's get to some quotes from Dabo Swinney, what was said today. If you are a Clemson fan, would love to hear from you at 844-326-3663. Let's start with this audio where he was asked about having a familiar voice back in the building, Diesel, and that voice being Chad Morris.
That's been great. I mean, just a lot of ways feels like you never left. You know, it's kind of weird how you can have relationships with people like that for a long time, and then maybe you go apart and then boom, you're back together. You know, Coach McCorvey and I met in 1990. He was my coach for 3 years, and then I was a GA for him. Then I was his receiver coach. He was the coordinator, and then we kind of separated in 98. And then, so 98, and then I brought him back here in 09. But it, same thing. It was at 11 years or so. All of a sudden you get back together. It's like you've never been apart. And I'd say it's very similar. Chad and I have always stayed connected. We're friends, not just colleagues. We're friends. And so it's been really good. We just speak the same language, and we believe in the same things. And he's an energetic guy, like myself, and really aligns with everything that we're about here at Clemson. And so it's been great. It's been a lot of fun, watching him just roll his sleeves up and get down in the fire with the guys. It's been a lot of fun.
Are your thoughts on Chad Morris being the OC any different today than they were when the hire happened? 4 months ago? Have your thoughts changed at all on Chad Morris being back?
I'd say no. I mean, Dabo Swinney gets to. I'm sure he feels like he gets to take his hands off of the offense and not have to look over Garrett Riley's shoulder all the time, not question whether or not, he said it as much himself over the course of time that they weren't necessarily speaking the same language. That doesn't mean that Garrett Riley's a bad offensive coordinator. I mean, he was amazing when he was at TCU. So it just seems like you would have thought that over the 3 years that Garrett Riley was there, that they would have developed a way to communicate and to have meshed. They just never quite did. Maybe Dabo Swinney feels like with Garrett, yeah, he was a talented young guy. I thought he could come in and he would revolutionize what we do, but we just never quite saw eye to eye. He always wanted to do things his way. I wanted to do things my way, and we just kept on clashing, and the results weren't there, so we had to move on. But you bring in Chad Morris, whose offenses were really good when he was at Clemson. He had a top 10 offense in 2012. I mean, they were averaging 512 yards of offense a year. They were a game, They were really, really good. I mean, so Dabo's got every reason to believe that bringing Chad Morris back in could maybe recreate some semblance of that, maybe 100% of that, maybe 95% of that, 90%. If they could do that, they'll be among the best offenses in the country.
Just didn't work with Garrett. Dabo, speaking about the defense. We talked about it earlier in the show, and pass defense is brought up here by Dabo Swinney as well.
Be here because it's given them a different perspective that they haven't had. Sometimes outside of things you don't really know till you get on the inside and you look at it, and it's a cool place. Cool place to live, cool place to work. That's why we don't really have a lot of turnover around here.
Coach, how have you seen communication improve over the offseason on the defensive end, and what more would you like to kind of see before you get to that first game?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing is just the coaches. It starts there. I mean, we did a lot of installation in the spring. We made some improvement. There's some new players that have come in that I think have, really brought a mature presence there. Obviously, with Myrick and Carter coming in, those guys have been great additions to go with some of the mid-year guys. But I think Carrico and Nolan and I think Thomas have done a great job. We had too many times last year. We honestly weren't on the same page. You got to have 11 guys. If you're all wrong, you're all right. But you got to be on the same page. And, that's the biggest thing defensively that has to, it's just that simple. We got to be better on pass defense if we're going to be better, period, on that side of the ball. We improved in a lot of areas last year, but we really just were just not very good in that area. And it cost us. A lot of explosive plays and not necessarily competitive plays, but just some things that from a communication standpoint, we got to do better. And so we've worked really hard. And it is year two. I think that's important too. It's year two of a system. It's been a good summer as far as the guys, doing what they're supposed to do from a player-led standpoint. But now we just got to continue to build on what they did in the spring. But that's it.
That's it. He says a lot there. A lot.
Communication's got to get a lot better.
And that's been said by him. You heard that earlier in the show with Tom Allen. Like that communication, man, They're emphasizing that. And I don't know exactly, who's to blame there. I think multiple parties can be at fault, but you talk about those guys last year who were used to Wes Goodwin's defense, and Tom Allen comes in his first year. Communication, I've heard that word and fit more than anything in the past 8 months. So the communication on defense, we see it at all levels. It's vital. There's no doubt it is vital, Diesel. You've got to have it, and I think that plays a big part. So we'll see. I believe I asked him at some point, he just said there, Diesel, that it's year 2. I don't know if this is my question or not, but I did ask him at some point if it feels like year 1 with Chad Morris, because he spoke earlier on like the familiar aspect, him knowing Chad. Let's see if this next question, what it was.
Got to continue to build on what they did in the spring, but that's it.
Dabo, how do you balance new year, new slate, looking forward, but also looking back a little bit and seeing the areas that were good you can improve on?
Good question, though.
Season, how do you kind of balance that?
Yeah, we're way past all that. That page is turned, man. It's 26.
He's past
that's all off season, self-scout. You study yourself. You're.
I will say, to be fair, like we as media, we still talk about it because it's the last tape we've seen.
Yeah.
But as a coach, from a coach standpoint, the Dabo's point, like, you've got to be that way.
You can't dwell on it.
No, you got to, it's gone. Like 6 months ago, it's gone.
There's a process, Cole. Every good coach and everybody in business has to evaluate what went wrong. They have to understand it. But they can't get better if all they ever do is talk about how bad they were last year. Right? I mean, there might be teachable moments inside of that locker room where they can go to Sammy Brown, for example. And I understand that he wasn't the vocal leader on this defense last year, that he will be this year, where they can say, hey, this fell apart because you weren't communicating with this other linebacker, or you weren't communicating with safety, or whatever it may be, that you can do better. But if all they ever do is harp on what went wrong, we talk about it. Tom loves to talk about it. Tom in Somerville, he's harping on it all over the text line right now. Everybody loves to talk about what went wrong, but you got to turn that page at some point. And do fans want them to turn that page the night before the new season starts, the night before the first game? No, you got to get past that early and start getting better now.
You do.
Your disaster report, what went good, what went bad, what went really bad. Was it why? Was it scheme? Was it player? Was it poor call? Or was it their player? Sometimes they got good players too, believe it or not. So it's, you kind of evaluate all that stuff in the offseason and turn the page. We've long moved past, last year. It's all about this team. We've been rolling since January, and this is for us kind of heading into the third quarter of our journey. It's a 4-quarter journey, and you don't win the game at halftime, but we're kind of entering in what we call the prime time phase of 2026, and now we got to get off to a good start in this phase of it, and that starts with your meetings and your camp, and hopefully you catch a little bit of luck along the way from a health standpoint, and then you take it to game day, but it's not really anything to balance at this point. It's all about 26.
Defense in year 2 of the system now. From the offensive
standpoint,
standpoint, does it feel like you're in year 1 with the familiarity aspect?
It doesn't for me. It feels like, picked up right where we.
So it doesn't feel like, and this was one of the things I was wanting to ask. I didn't know if I would ask it today or Thursday, but key point there. It doesn't feel, and I think this is important. And this is why I asked the question. It doesn't feel like year 1 in this new offense for Dabo. Talking about speaking the same language as Chad Morris, Diesel, all these things. I think that's important. Now, you'll hear him talk about here in a second. The players, obviously, it still feels like year 1, but for the head coach, the guy that has to make those in-game decisions and scheme and help put together offensive game plans, I think it's important. I think that's one of the big reasons he brought Chad back. It's just knowing what to expect week in and week out, if that makes sense.
Well, it makes it easier for Dabo to recognize trends and make decisions throughout the game instead of having to worry about having to worry about what his offensive coordinator is going to do. Tom on the stream, he's all over it, says both speak the same language. I'd hope so. They're both Americans. But look, we've all seen the movie Days of Thunder. Remember when Tom Cruise's character says a wedge here, a turn there? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have the vocabulary. And the crew chief says, you know what? We just need to get together and figure one out. That's exactly what this is. That's exactly what this is. You had a crew chief that was saying one thing. Sure. You had an offensive coordinator that was saying another thing, and they weren't speaking the same terminology.
No, that's right. More from Dabo here.
We left off, from me and Chad's standpoint, and very familiar, but definitely for the player, because there's some carryover. I mean, inside zone, power's power, counter's counter, four verts is four verts, slants are slants, quick games, screens are screens. I mean, but how all that stuff is put together, your formationing, what your verbiage is, what you call it, your motions, how you package it, all of that stuff is different, for this group of players. But for me, it's very familiar.
Very familiar for Dabo.
So think about that. That means clearly we're seeing that Dabo Swinney is not going to operate in the same way that Nick Saban did. When Nick Saban was running through coordinators, different coordinator every single year, and somehow they just kept finding ways to be successful. Either Nick Saban was just simply better at letting someone do their own thing, or he was better at finding the coordinators that already spoke the same language that he did. Right?
No, they had better NIL. Remember, they were the only ones that could pay players. That's why.
But no, Dabo Swinney, obviously, he's thrived over the course of his career when he's had the same OC for a number of years.
He's had good assistants.
When he's had the same defensive coordinator for a number of years in a row. That's where Dabo Swinney thrives, and we'll see. We'll see if this year it pays those dividends. But you got to think that having Chad Morris back, it can only improve the way this offense operates from an efficiency standpoint.
More from Swinney?
Drinking water from the fire hose. Just what do you want to see from that group now?
Grayson, man.
Now that they've had some time to get their feet wet in the system.
Yeah, just be better than they were when I saw them, last practice.
Talking about the quarterbacks, by the way.
It's good. Just be better.
That's what what the summer's all about. I like the room. I felt like that. We knew where CB was going into it, and we knew what we hoped to see coming out of it. And he didn't back up. He kept going. Did a good job. But we had four guys kind of competing for. We needed to figure out who the two were. That was so we had kind of a 4-guy competition. And it's really hard to rep 5 quarterbacks or 4 quarterbacks for a 2 spot. So that was what I thought was really important to get done in the spring, was to figure out, okay, who's 2? Is there a 2? Going into that last week of spring, it was just obvious that Tate had separated from that group, to where, okay, now we needed clarity. It gave us clarity of, okay, hey, here's the 2 guys that we need to go into the summer with. We need to create some clarity for the team. And, because again, you can only rep so many guys. And man, Tate, he got all those 2 reps that last week, and he went.
Go ahead. Speaking of separation, Cole, Grayson Mann tweeted this out about 6 hours ago. Mm-hmm. Clemson quarterback Chris Denson is shifting to more of a hybrid role within the offense. He'll rep at running back and wide receiver this fall. And that was something that Chad Morris told him in their breakout situation. So there you go, Clemson fans. I know a lot of Tiger fans were really hoping and had high expectations for Chris Denson to maybe step up and take a role here as a starting quarterback, because he looked good in his limited time last year. But he is now seems to be stepping away from that quarterback position. I don't know if that means he's going to stick in that position for Clemson, or maybe a year from now he says, you know what, this is not for me. I still want to play quarterback, so I'm going to move on and try something else.
I did get a chance to ask him about why he didn't take a quarterback. And look, I don't believe Dabo listens to local radio like you and I, do, and others. Let's see if – oh, no, here it is. Let me back it up.
Tell me Dabo's not a Tolo?
He needs to be. He needs to be. Let's see if this is it here.
And then save a few days for this kind of ramp up
coming up
couple
shortly.
Weeks in the camp. So I think there's a lot of ways to do it. I think it's a good proposal. I don't think it's passed yet, but hopefully it will. I think that'll be a good thing.
Coach, you're one of 5 ACC programs not taking quarterback to ACC kickoff. Do you think there's too much made of that, or can you go into your thought process on who you do take?
Is there a lot being made of that? I don't even know. I don't know.
Is there a lot being made? I got to clip that out.
What do you mean?
But is there a lot being made of that? Is there a lot being made of it? Here's more.
I don't know if there's a lot being made of that or not. First I've heard of it. Breaking news right here. The Smart Family Media Center.
Quarterback due to the questions.
For me, if you just got, I think you got to have context. Like I've always taken our seniors number one. That's kind of where I start, and then I always they get to pick somebody. So Olsen is our senior that we chose, and been a starter for us, and then Helt was a senior, and they all wanted Sammy Brown. So it's kind of how it goes. There was a couple other names they threw out there, but I don't really worry about all that stuff. I don't think about that.
I don't think about that. That's what he said. I don't think about it. I just don't think about it. Breaking news.
No, I didn't want to put my quarterback in a position where he had to ask or answer all these tough questions about this.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean? There's a big deal about this?
And that's what we do, right? Like that's what we do. We generate what could be thoughts, what could be thought processes.
We got 4 hours a day to fill here.
Right. And again, I don't know. I don't know if Dabo, I know that as a head coach, you think about a lot of things. There are a lot of things to do as head coach. So I don't know if Dabo thought about it or not. I don't know what his thought process was. I do believe him, but what are you talking about? First I've heard of this. Breaking news. I don't know what you're talking about. Funny stuff.
According to a lot of Clemson fans, the quarterback that started the run that led to national championships, Taj Boyd, is coaching quarterbacks for the Tigers now under Dabo Swinney. And you had a chance to stand in front of him, ask some questions earlier today. Let's hear from their quarterbacks coach. Listen and react with Taj Boyd next. Cole, stop me if you've heard this one before. Dewey says something sucks, so we should stop talking about it.
No, I didn't. I've never heard that before.
Dewey.
Who is Dewey
in,
again?
Yip.
Oh, I've got that.
Dewey on the stream says the World Cup sucks. It's time for football.
Y'all need to be fired.
Not that one.
Not that one.
What about this one?
That's what Dewey sounds like every day. The same broken record. Walt Weiss needs to be fired.
I have like 3
Alex
or 4.
Anthropoulos. That's how he says it. Anthropoulos needs to be fired. Austin Riley needs to be fired. Dabo needs to be fired. Shane Bieber needs to be fired.
Everybody.
It's like a friggin' broken record, Dewey.
Let's see what this one is. I hadn't played this one in a while. Be warned.
Oh, happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday. Your underwear smells. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, God.
That's an oldie, but a goodie.
God.
I mean, 2 years or so ago. I forgot about that one.
We need to have this kid tested, man.
Any kid.
He claims to be like 68 years old.
I think anytime we have a Tolo who has a birthday, they should be forced to call in and us play that.
I like that.
Oh,
right there.
Happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday. Your underwear smells. Happy birthday to you.
I mean, where do you come up with this kind of stuff, Dewey? Where do you come up with? You know, I love going back to these drops. We need to add more drops. How about Tom? You mentioned Tom a minute ago.
All you ACC homers out there, your conference sucks.
Speaking of ACC kickoff.
Did you say Gomers or Homers?
Homers.
All you ACC homers out there, your conference sucks.
Dan B says we never work on his birthday. So Dan B, you know what sound effect Dan B gets?
Oh yeah. It's
What do you mean, Dan? Is your birthday a holiday?
It has to be Christmas Day. I think.
Is he born on Christmas Day? Wow.
I feel like I do remember him saying it's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Am I wrong on that, Dan? When is it? Now I'm curious. I mean, is it on the weekend every year? There's no way that's possible.
I mean, he's got strong takes on cauliflower pizza.
Day after.
I knew it
was. See, Dan, you should be glad. I'm even going to look at the camera. I knew when your birthday was.
Is it advantageous to be born on a holiday?
No.
Why? Because you are guaranteed to get your birthday off of work every single year.
Well, it depends on the holiday. I mean, if it's a big, meaningful holiday like Thanksgiving or Christmas, it's not about you.
That's true.
You know,
as a child, everybody knows it's not good to be born in late December. It should be a crime, Cole, to be making babies in like late March, early April, because then you're going to end up with a late December child, and your kid is only going to get half the presents. And everyone knows that.
Stoneman and I were talking about this yesterday. When you just get older, and I think this starts to happen in your mid-20s, birthdays don't feel a bit different. I mean, a bit different. It doesn't matter if it's 30 or 40 or whatever.
You're still in your 20s though.
No.
Cole.
I turned 30 Saturday.
Did you?
Past Saturday.
Wow!
Yeah.
Happy birthday!
30.
God, I'm a bad friend. I didn't know that.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 days late, but it still counts.
But it was on Saturday.
Saturday.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't get the Facebook notification.
3 days late. But yeah, I turned 30 and I woke up. I did run a few errands. It just doesn't feel. It doesn't feel any. I don't know.
So you're like 3 weeks younger than Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
What's your excuse?
Bad shoulder.
He's the world's number one golfer.
I just got a bad shoulder.
And, you're number one in a lot of Tolo's hearts.
Yeah, but it right here, I've got a little shoulder issue. I mean, if it wasn't for that.
Totally. You could have been 30. You could have thrown a football over the mountains.
Let me see when his birthday is.
He turned 30 on the Sunday of the
June
US
21st.
Open.
So he was born 3 weeks before I was.
Wow.
And he looks
so much more.
He looks. I don't know. I think I've aged better than Scotty.
Okay, that's a good question. Let's
you
see.
think?
I'm going to pull a photo.
Diesel. He looks 40. I mean, he does.
He also spends every moment of every day out in the sun.
I don't care.
Okay.
We both have bad hairlines. Him and I do.
Should I pick a good photo of Scotty or a bad photo of Scotty?
In between.
Let's find a middle.
Now,
of the
there's
road.
not going to be a lot of bad photos of him online.
There's a few. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna show Shane. We're gonna show.
He looks way
Scotty
older
Scheffler right next to Cole Bryson on the stream here.
Let me get close
and see Tolos who are watching on the stream. You have to tell us who has aged the best. They're 3 weeks apart in age. One of them is worth tens of millions of dollars.
And one's worth $10. I think.
So there's Cole.
Yeah.
Let's lean in, Cole. Give me a little Cole. Lean in. Cole Bryson. Scotty Scheffler.
I think I have.
Cole Bryson.
I have, yeah.
Scotty Scheffler.
Now, that's a good picture of Scotty, though. That's a really good picture. Some of the ones, man, he was looking rough. But,
well, yeah, you've got the better hairline. That's for sure.
Not much better. Not much better.
I wouldn't say that out loud. I
Much
wouldn't say that. You could say that out loud about yourself.
I mean, it's not much better. I've been thinking about going to Turkey, getting one of those.
Have you seen those? They don't look good.
You don't think?
No, they don't look good. I mean, they look very obvious.
Well, maybe not. Maybe
very
not.
obvious.
Maybe I won't go to Turkey.
Keith and TR says, turned 34 on Saturday and was at work getting my butt handed to me like it was just another day.
Oh,
what do you do, Keith? Were you getting chewed up by your boss?
Keith, you and I are only 4 years apart. That's awesome. And our birthday is literally 1 day apart. That's cool, man. Happy late birthday to you.
Texter says, where is Scotty's hairline? Well, as a matter of fact, I'm going to find this picture here. I'm going to pull this photo. And that way, this feels wrong to do, Cole. I'm going to pull this photo, if it will even save, because nowadays nothing's a JPEG out there. You can't save anything as anything else. All right, let's go back to the stream, add this to the image files, and let's see. Great radio. Bam. Nope, not that one.
Not that one.
Not that one. We're
Wrong
gonna remove
one.
this one, add that one.
See, he looks
there's
awful.
Scotty's.
He looks.
See, I didn't pick that photo on purpose.
He looks 37, 38 there.
I mean, like that's not a great look.
I mean, look, he's a lot richer than I am, and he's accomplished a lot more in sport than I have, but my hairline's a little better, so I guess I've got that one going for me.
Yeah.
I bet I've caught more fish than Scotty. I'll say that. I bet I've killed more deer than Scotty. So, I mean, yeah, take that, Scotty. You may be a millionaire. I think I've killed more deer than you have, buddy.
Well, he might have killed more fish hitting balls into the water.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true. Let's hear from Taj Boyd, the quarterbacks coach for the Clemson Tigers. He was a pretty good player for the Tigers, though he kind of struggled when they played that team down I-26 from Columbia.
Yep.
What did Taj Boyd have to say about the quarterback battle now that
was
seems
rude,
to
by the
be
way.
Christopher what? Pointing out facts?
I mean, just throwing shots
No.
at Taj.
Taj is my boy. I got his number in my phone. Christopher Vizina versus Tate Reynolds for QB1. What does Taj have to say?
Same thing from coach's standpoint. I've never seen a group more excited to do up downs than this group right here. You know what I mean? And he makes you feel that way, and because he speaks life and not death, and but he speaks truth.
Talking about Chad Morris, by the way.
He's a guy for sure, but there's a lot that comes with that too, and there's an expectation that comes with that, and I think a hungry tiger hunts best, right? And so I think that's where we're at. We know where we're at. Last season was disappointing by a large margin, but we're excited about what's coming. We're excited about what's next. So.
You see some of or you're almost thinking when you see some of the play calls, wow, he changed that from what he did when I was here.
For sure.
It's like, boy, it kind of looks like it did, but I see the wrinkle he's had it since. Is that kind of what you've been on with?
Absolutely. So, like, again, there's been some similarities with what we've done and what I know, but then there's been some evolution along the way as well. And again, it's been cool for me to really have been in a few different systems. I was here with Tony, and Street, and I got a chance to understand where the offense had kind of went from when Chad was here, and then to get a chance to work with Garrett, and man, what a special person he is, and a great coach that he is, and then to get with Coach Morris and to see really, I mean, the guy who he is the puppet master, right? He's the guy who figures out, all right, how to pull this string to make this thing go over here, and so to know, what the offense is, but to get the architect back in it, it's special, because now I get a chance to hear directly from the source, and so it's been eye-opening for me personally, but I know it has been for our staff as well. And again, it's not one of these things where it's truly a dictatorship. there's opportunity for collaboration, and there has been, and I've been thankful for that as well too, because it challenges all of us, because it takes all of us. And so excited about him though, man, and his journey back here, and that's gonna be for the best. He's ready, and really because again he has the pieces around him. Everybody feels like they have to do it by themselves, especially when you walk into in an environment like that where it's hostile, right? And it's exactly what you hoped you would be able to experience while you're in college. And I got a chance to speak. Y'all, you know what Sobeys, like the lunch club is? Maybe y'all know what that is. And so I got a chance to speak.
Product placement.
Yeah.
Right after a loss last year, which is it's tough. I think it was Georgia Tech loss, and I had Dabo the same week. I'm like, oh boy. And what makes Clemson is the people, simply. We turn on tape, man. We watch all the tape, and when you're watching the tape, you see a lot of half-full stadiums. You do, and take with it what you will. I'm like, I don't know if this is where we've become because of the circumstances surrounding college football right now, but people care here. And anytime you get a chance to go to an environment where people care, that's why you play it, you know what I mean? And if not, you be playing throwback and running in the field at the apartment complex I grew up in, which is awesome too. That's where I learned how to cut my teeth right there, you know what I mean? But to be able to put on display the work that you've done and allow people to see that's what it's all about. And so CB and this team has a chance to do that in week 1 with all eyes on you. Man, it doesn't get much better than that, man. And so, again, big thing I want to tell those guys and what I will tell them and we'll work towards throughout the course of fall camp is making sure that they trust those guys around them to do your job so that they can do theirs. And give the guys an opportunity with the ball, man. Get us in the right positions, get us in the right situations. We're going to do what we can from where we stand, but the way I look at it with quarterbacks is very similar to snipers and spotters. I can tell you the direction, I can tell you the target, I can tell you the wind, but I can't pull a string. That's what you have to do. And so we're going to put these guys in the best situation possible, equip them with all the tools for success, and I think they'll be ready to make the shots, man. So I'm excited about it. The first 4 months,
Cole, what I've noticed through this entire conversation here with Taj Boyd, Clemson quarterbacks coach, there's a new and renewed emphasis on synergy. So you've got a head coach and OC that know each other, speak the same language, and are ready to go. You've got a quarterbacks coach who now speaks the same language and is very familiar with his offensive coordinator. You've got an alignment across the board that maybe Clemson hasn't had over the past couple of years. And, you don't always have to have that alignment. You don't always have to have coaches that have coached under you before that stick around forever.
Yeah.
But it is also rare. Like what I was saying earlier, it's rare to do what Nick Saban did. Obviously, it helps being the top program in the country and having the best players and being able to hire the best coordinators who can come in and have found a way to be the most adept at it, at getting yourself off the ground rolling quickly in a new program. But Clemson, I think all of it comes back to they need to have that level of synergy. And when something gets thrown out of whack, it goes really out of whack.
Yeah, and another thing, when you talk about Taj, there are a couple of references from Dabo and Chad Morris about him being on that coaching staff. Not saying that he's not like all in, but it wasn't Taj Boyd that you hear now. I can tell you this, me listening to Taj Boyd speak today compared to 2 years ago when I heard him speak, it's a different Taj Boyd. I think there's an energy there. He talked about being out of coaching and being, I don't know if he's in real estate, whatever, taking clients to dinner and things like that. And I think Taj being at the quarterback position now as the coach, I think it can only help if he's all in, and it sounds like he is. Again, it's a quarterback coach. Is a quarterback going to go? Is a quarterback coach going to win you and lose you games on Saturday? No, but it certainly matters. Couple of quick. Let's see. We got time for maybe one more answer here from Taj.
I had dinner at 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening and being done, and we're sitting up here, and I'm like, man, what am I doing? And really, Will Shipley changed it for me. Will Shipley. We have breakfast every Tuesday.
All right, that's no good. And no offense to Taj, that's just him rambling on about something that's not irrelevant. That's not relevant. Nonetheless, I think it's a good move. I think that when you talk about Christopher Vizina walking in to Baton Rouge, Louisiana on his first start in early September, of course, to Taj's point there, like, that's what you want. That's what you want as a college quarterback, and that's what you want as a coach. You want to have to be in those kind of situations because it means you're playing big-time, meaningful games. It's just a matter of, for that guy in Vizina, all eyes are going to be on him here in just a few weeks, it feels like, as he goes into what will be, I think, the marquee game of the weekend when Clemson travels to LSU, and how that guy, how Vizina will come out of that game and how he'll handle that environment. I think that's going to tell you right there a lot about the season, Diesel.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how a quarterback coach and QB1 who are of a similar stature. Taj was 6'1", 220 when he played. Christopher Vizina, he's listed as 6'4", 210, which really means he's more
guy.
Like 6'2.5", 205.
Vizina's tall.
So to have a quarterback coach and QB1 who have the same body style, again, talking about that synergy, going back to that same kind of alignment all across the board, I think it'll help.
Only will help. Our daily wires, Diesel. It's time to get to those. We'll get to them next.
Well, turns out she kissed Elvis. The story she told to make Penny Lane jealous, and she said, "Hun, my shift's ended beside a piece of sign."
It wouldn't let me click the commercial break, and it just refreshed my whole screen. So, if you can send us.
to get to. Short time to get there.
We have a segment where we hit our headlines. We call them Daily Wires. The buzz that's happening in the sports world. A good day to be Jordan Walker, St. Louis Cardinals outfielder. Jordan Walker won the 2026 Home Run Derby at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, defeating hometown favorite Kyle Schwarber 12-11 in the final round. Walker hit 6 consecutive home runs on his final swings to capture the title and the $1 million purse.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out the rules. They changed it to something convoluted this year. Whatever happened to 20 outs, as many home runs as you can hit?
Now, can we explain? We need to stop and explain to Dewey.
A home run is where you hit the ball really far.
Not that. $1 million purse. It doesn't mean he won a pocketbook worth $1 million, Dewey. It's
I don't know. There's some like Dolce & Gabbana bags that are expensive.
Well, I mean, he could go certainly buy one for $1 million, right? He could certainly go buy one. But you said a minute ago something about that being it was more than his salary, right?
Yeah, his salary is just under $800,000 this year. He won $1 million for winning this thing.
Whew, how about that?
Yeah,
pretty good.
Dewey would stuff a designer handbag with cheap beer.
Yeah,
that's
Dewey. That's Dewey for you.
Fill it full of ice and cheap beer.
In Philadelphia, Major League Baseball has gathered support from owners to allow big league players to participate in the Olympics for the first time, but disagreements with the MLB PA over hotel rooms, tickets, and a mandatory participation agreement have complicated their involvement in the 2028 Los Angeles Games, sources told ESPN. Emails and documents obtained by ESPN illustrate the conflict between the parties that has spanned multiple months and left officials at LA 28 seeking a prompt resolution. How about that? All right. United States forward Folarin Balogun. Did I say that right?
Folarin Balogun. They call him Fole or Flo.
I like Flo.
Flo's good.
I like
Flo Balogun is a good name.
Let's go Flo Balogun.
Yeah.
I like that. United States forward Flo Balogun. How about that? I like that. Has signed with Clutch Sports following a breakout World Cup diesel that elevated his profile on and off the pitch. Clutch was founded by LeBron James, longtime business partner Rich Paul, and which represents James, announced on Monday that Balogun had joined its roster. How about that? Wow. Is that interesting or what?
That is fascinating. Maybe does Flo know where LeBron's going to go?
I saw a tweet today that executives believe he might go to Golden State.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He also said that that the whole controversy around him getting the red card, taking days to get reinstated, he said that absolutely had an effect on the team. How?
Really?
I don't know. I don't know how it screwed the team up that much. I mean, he was preparing as if he was going to play. It's not like you get a red card and you have to 100% sit out of team activities for a week. I mean, I could see how that would have an effect.
Paul Skeens, Juan Soto, and Bryce Harper are among baseball's all-stars who say players will never agree to a salary cap, but maintain there's plenty of time to avoid a conflict that could shorten the 2027 season. Skeens said both sides kind of have their line that they're not going to cross. Whether that's results and missing games or missing season, we'll see. The baseball's 5-year labor contract, by the way, expires on December 1st, and the MLB is expected to immediately lock out players.
Fascinating.
This is going to be consequential.
Fans will look at it and say players are the reason we don't have a season.
Yeah.
So I know Paul and Juan and Bryce Harper, I know you guys are trying to protect your massive contracts here.
Yeah.
But you will be seen as the reason why you don't have a season.
It's wild, isn't it? 2 more for you. The ACC kicks off their season tomorrow in Charlotte. The ACC kickoff. We will be live all 3 days on Radio Row, live from the Hilton Uptown. So if you're an ACC Clemson fan, we've got you. We've got you. The coverage 3 straight days. Are you kidding me?
It's not going to be quite as crazy as an SEC Media Days is, but how about can we get Dewey standing outside of the Hilton Charlotte Uptown in some sort of a costume, maybe with a sign and a megaphone yelling at like Tom Luganbill going in tomorrow morning?
Be fun. And last one for you, a little live update. How about this, Diesel? Spain. And we are in the final minutes, 91 minutes and 28 seconds. 7 minutes have been added Spain leads France 2-0. And boy, I mean, Spain's dominated this game today.
France had a chance on a penalty kick just a couple of minutes ago, Cole, but they sent it high, which that would have obviously changed the complexity of this game if it was 2-1 now instead of 2-0. This game is over. This game is over.
It's
France
over.
France will be eliminated.
How about
Spain,
that, man? That's crazy.
will have rain on the plane.
Oh, wow. Wow,
Yeah.
literally.
Yep.
And good win. Good win for Spain. I like it.
Good
Those
stuff.
are your daily wires.
That is your buzz. When we come back, Cole, let's continue coverage from Clemson's media day. There was a chance earlier to chat with Chad Morris, the brand new returning offensive coordinator of the Clemson Tigers, who was responsible for putting together some really good offenses back in his first go around. How's it going to look different? We'll hear from Chad next. Well, it has gone final, Cole. An embarrassing loss for Team France. Spain smacks them around 2-0 in the World Cup semifinals. Spain controlled possession 51% of the time. They only had 2 shots on goal. They created big chances. France did not. To get an instant reaction to this stunning World Cup turn of events, let's go to Dewey on the phone lines, who I'm sure has something to say. Dewey, could you get through this without saying the word sucks?
Well, no, because I got a couple of things I got to say, but I'll try.
Okay. Good luck.
Well, good riddance to the World Cup.
It's not over
all I'm
yet.
gonna say about
It's not
that.
over yet, Dewey.
Well, wasn't that the final?
No.
Oh, well, still good riddance.
It's a semifinal.
America's out of it. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, they should play the final game in another country. No one cares about the World Cup anymore.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're going to start qualifying for the next World Cup next week, because I think they're going to go to 64 teams, which is going to take forever to play the qualifications.
They probably will make it last all summer.
What
That'll
else?
give us something to talk about.
Anyways, today's the All-Star game, and I already have a negative opinion about the All-Star game. I ain't gonna say the S word, but only thing good about the All-Star game is the 5 players Braves are representing. Even though the only reason why 5 players made it in, Drake Baldwin and Ozzy Albies done okay this year. Drake Baldwin and a couple of the others, because they had a good April and a decent May. And Drake Baldwin got hurt and went on vacation, and he came back and ain't done squat, but he hit a grand slam and a couple other things in the last couple of games.
What's the S word that you weren't going to say?
I'm not allowed to say it.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, the whole point is the All-Star game is nothing but a big
big what?
Popularity contest.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Acuna could have been in it, and I think he was almost in it. And it was Shohei Ohtani. Oh, no, I'm hurt. I can't play. You know, Shohei Ohtani, you're the face of baseball, and you can't even show your face on the biggest stage besides the World Series. You need to go sit down and go somewhere.
Hey, let me ask Dewey, what sport has a good All-Star game to begin with?
None of them do.
None of them do. There we go.
But you know what got me fired up? You talk about this buyout thing that's about to come. Well, guess what? Bryce Harper, you just go no one likes you anyways. Even now, no one likes you. So who cares about what you think? Boo-hoo, you're not making $1 billion a year. It's time for a salary cap in baseball to keep the Dodgers and the Yankees from bombing up all the good players. And Paul Skeens, you're only good because the rest of your team stinks. I would say the other S word.
Do you miss the old days? Dewey, do you miss the old days when the winner of the World Series got home field advantage, or the winner of the All-Star game got home field advantage? I thought that was great, because if that's the case, Shohei Ohtani should feel compelled to play because it could get him home field advantage.
Yes, but that just takes that format was good, but then they took that and they ruined. Baseball knows how to ruin a good thing. And I tell you what, this is a Dewey warning. So there's a Dewey warning in effect now.
Oh, wow.
If this goes into a buyout, and I'm sure Tom in Somerville can probably agree with me. If there's going to be a buyout in December and all them little players like, oh, you're taking my money. Oh, we're not going to play. You're going to lock us out. Well, guess what? No one's going to give a crap about baseball anymore. Paul, you probably won't even give a crap about it no more, because baseball is for the fans, and you're doing the fans a disservice by complaining about money, and just you're not playing the game no more. You're going to sit and you're going to complain, and you're going to complain and complain, and you're going to ruin the fan experience. So,
I mean, he's making some solid points there.
Yeah.
The lockout will be viewed as the players' fault.
Yeah.
Greedy players who want a lot of money. I think they
In
should.
1995, it was like that, and no one cared. It took a decade for baseball to get back to where it was. Well, in 1998, it got back, and then Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa screwed that by using drugs. So
Yeah.
Then they went back to crap again.
So we have to.
Now they just fixed their problem with the pitch clock. They got the pitch clock. They got people watching baseball again, and the ABS system seems to be going good. And now they're going to screw that all up because of a couple of greedy
Dollars.
people.
There you go.
Oh,
Good points.
Wow. I need
Yeah.
just a relaxing pill. I mean, I feel stressed.
There's a
and
lot,
worked up
lot
there.
going on. He's got a lot on his mind.
Oh.
Struggled through the words sometimes.
Let's just breathe for
he
a
kept
minute.
saying buyouts when he meant lockout. Those are
Oh.
two very, very different things.
Man, my chest. Is your chest hurt?
Here's the thing, Cole. You got ownership campaigning, right? They're producing commercials and putting it out there saying, hey, we need to have a salary cap. Why don't they divide the locker room in half, the haves and the have-nots, and say, well, if we get what we want, we also vow minimum salaries in this league will go up. That way you have the players who are not making a lot of money now in favor of a salary cap, and it makes players inside their own locker room choose a side.
Yeah, it does. And you know what's interesting about that? To Dewey's point there, and I hate to say this, I agree.
Did have a
with,
point?
No, I do. I hate to say it, I agree, but it does do the fans a disservice, and he's totally right. I mean, that pains me to say. It does.
There's a lot of people, Cole, out there that are struggling paycheck to paycheck every single day. They do not care about the problems of greedy baseball players making $70 million a year. And the salaries will only continue to go up, right? They will only keep going up, and that will disconnect the players more and more and more from the fans.
By the way, Spain's 2-0 win today to advance to the World Cup final, their first World Cup final since 2010. So it's been 16
How about that?
years. Is that right? 16
There you
years
go.
since, like that math, since Spain's been to a World Cup final. A little bit of a drought, but not too long. I mean, 16 years feels like a long time, but that's not really 16 world. You know what I mean? So
That's 4 World Cups.
Yeah, it's not that terrible of a drought.
Yeah.
Good for Spain, though.
Keith in TR on the Joy Law Firm text line says, did I just have a stroke or did Dewey make sense?
No, he kind of did.
A little bit.
Kind of did.
Yeah.
Texter, I think this is Tom, says Mr. Boyd never beat the Gamecocks. Tom has been just, I don't know what to say. Tom's been guns a-blazing, I guess, on the text line today.
Welcome to Sports Talk Radio, Tom.
Oh,
Sometimes,
man.
some days have themes.
He is not happy about Clemson today. But speaking of Clemson, let's go offense, Diesel. Chad Morris spoke today. We've heard from Tom Allen, Taj Boyd, Dabo. Anybody else I missed? Dewey. Heard from Dewey. I think that's it. I think that's everybody thus far. And as soon as we start to play the Chad Morris audio, look at that. Look at that. Can you believe it? The phone line coming in
just in time.
And that is Tom and some. I mean, we were literally about to get to Chad Morris's audio from earlier today, and Tom in Somerville ruining the party. Tom, congratulations. You beat Chad Morris to the punch.
Well, it's about time y'all talked about something else. I mean, my goodness, since 3 o'clock today, it's been Clemson this, Clemson that, Clemson that. I mean, my goodness, guys. And I know it's in July, and I know, everybody wanted y'all to talk more college football the last few days. But I mean, can't we talk about somebody other than Clemson? I mean, I've been fortunate enough. I've been listening since y'all got on the air today at 3 o'clock, and I've heard the word Clemson this about 50,000 times.
It's starting to sound like Dewey, Tom. Are you sure you're not Dewey?
I hope I'm not Dewey. And, at the end of the day, unbiased radio station, and all I've heard today is how Clemson's going to go win the ACC, go win the national championship.
Who said that? Who? Tell us, Tom. Let's be real, Tom. Did you really hear someone saying that, or are you just not emotionally stable enough to listen to talk about somebody that's having a media day without throwing a hissy fit? Because this is a hissy fit, Tom.
Well, I'm allowed to have a hissy fit every now and then.
Tom, you should be used to your Gamecocks being irrelevant.
Well, hey, I've not ran from the truth, okay? I've been open and honest about the Gamecocks being irrelevant since the dawn of time, okay? But let's not sit here and act like Clemson has done anything since 2018.
18,
2018.
yeah.
I mean, that's almost 10 years ago, okay? And Clemson won 7 games last year with what was supposed to be a top 5 team, this, that, and the other, and we saw what happened. They were no good, and now you got no quarterback. You got an OC who's been working at the Circle K the last couple years, and then, you bring in a quarterback coach who his last full-time job was working in hospitality. And, of course, he's Dabo's buddy, so, of course, he's going to get the job.
Yeah, but South Carolina only won 4 games last year with a team that won 9 the year before. So what's your excuse?
Oh, I'll tell you what the problem was is last year the Gamecocks had a dude who was about 85 years old looking like Joe Biden in the daggum press box and had no clue what he was doing calling plays.
But he's an NFL legend. He's an NFL legend. Maybe South Carolina just didn't have the personnel to do what he wanted to do.
Well, I'd love to know what he did in the NFL to make him a legend. Because I'll tell you one thing, I rewatched the Oklahoma-South Carolina football game today, and there's no such thing as a legend calling plays that day.
Well, Tom, it sounds like to me, and again, I get it, SEC media days, they're next week, so we'll talk a lot of SEC, we'll talk a lot of South Carolina, but it sounds like to me, I mean, you just you expect us. I mean, what do you want us to talk World Cup? I mean, your Gamecocks. There's nothing relevant to talk about right now.
Well, you can talk about how good the baseball team's doing and on the recruiting trail. You can talk about how, and I'm serious when I say this. I think the South Carolina offense this year is going to be a lot more organized. They're going to rely on the inside run game.
What's your name?
It's going to be inside zone to the left, inside zone to the right, and if you can't stop it, you better figure something out.
That is riveting radio there. The organization of the offense being improved.
Tom, you are the definition of a homer who cannot see realistically. I mean, you're the world's worst homer here.
How have I ever been a homer? I am not biased. I speak the truth. I am blatantly honest, probably sometimes too honest.
No, no.
Didn't you say South Carolina's going to win like 9 games this year the other day?
You're a homer. You can't have an objective conversation.
7 and 8.
You're a homer.
Okay?
Homer.
I am not. And I mean, y'all are gassing up this Clemson quarterback room like it's Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. It's not.
It might be better than last year's quarterback room, Tom.
Well, I mean, y'all know how I felt about Cade Club. He was not even that good to begin with. So saying that, Tate Reynolds and whoever else might be better than Cade Club, that's not that big of that's not that big of a hot take. I mean, we can go down to Orangeburg Wilkinson High School and probably find us a better quarterback in that room.
Yeah. You might be right there, but again, sometimes letting your frustrations out and venting, Tom. Hopefully, sometimes it'll make you feel better because you've got a lot of venting that you've done today. And hey, if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. But
you might want to double up on your blood pressure medication after this phone call, Tom.
Hey, I'll make a bet right now. Clemson football will not win 8 games.
Not win 8 games?
Okay.
Let me look at the schedule.
The under on 7.5, not exactly 8. Okay, we're not going to parse words here. We're not going to get technical on you. He says he's taking the under on 7.5.
You're going. So if the over under's set at 7.5, Tom, you're going under.
I'm going to go under.
All right, I'll give you 8 wins. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Georgia Southern, North Carolina, that's 2. Cal, that's 3.
I don't know.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
dear God.
Charleston Southern's 4. Virginia
yeah.
Tech's 5. I think they'll beat Florida State this year. That's 6. I'll go Georgia Tech and Duke as the next 2 wins.
That's 8.
That's 8, and that's easily over. Yep. I'll take. Hey, what do you want to put on it? I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet with you.
They're not going to beat Cal. They're not going to go across the country late on a Friday night and win. So then you're at 7. So then that means you have to beat Duke or you have to beat Georgia Tech.
What do you want to bet on it, Tom?
A fat, juicy ribeye.
They'll win 8 games.
Thunder.
You are the worst Gamecock homer.
I'm going to put a note. I'm going to write this down, Tom, in my handy dandy Phil Steele magazine. Tom in Somerville bet Cole a steak.
Yeah.
8 wins was not going to happen for Clemson Tigers this
Homer
year.
Tom is what I'm going to start calling them. And you, I mean, what do you want? You need a Homer Gamecock radio station, Tom, as bad as you are as a homer.
Hey, I've never been a homer. All I do
You're
is
a homer.
fact. And the fact is that Shane Beamer has not lost to Clemson in Clemson, and that is not changing this year.
Tom, I'd be embarrassed to be a Gamecock fan the way you talk. You embarrass Gamecock fans.
Hey, Clemson hasn't done anything. So what do y'all got to brag about?
I'm just saying.
What's
Who is
South
y'all?
Carolina done?
Who is y'all?
Yeah, what's South Carolina
You
done?
calling me? Wait a minute. Who is y'all, Tom?
Cole, we know where your allegiance lies on this. and you know, I'm over here at a red light, and everybody's looking at me because I'm in the middle lane. And my face is red. I'm screaming.
Is anybody recording you right now, Tom? Is anybody recording
He's gonna
you?
be on TikTok
Tom's got
tonight.
some main character syndrome going on.
Ooh.
Y'all might see me on the local news as the guy that was ranting in the truck at the red light.
Yeah. Well, Homer Tom, thanks for the call. You've been on for 8 minutes. 8 minutes too long. You're a homer. We love you, and you owe me a steak here in a few months.
Wrote it down, Tom. You're not going to get out of this. I even time-stamped it. I dated it for 7/14/26.
Go Gamecocks. Clemson still sucks.
Thanks, Tom.
That was an epically long phone call. I mean, just, oh my gosh. The text line coming in, a few texts on the Joy Law Firm text line. Mike Main, Jersey Joe, Corn Chip coming in after Tom's epic rant there. Cocky for a reason up next. What's up, Cocky?
I'm pumped up with Tom talking Gamecocks. I was gonna stay in my lane and read the room and talk ACC since y'all going ACC.
No, you do whatever you want.
I was going to talk how great Miami is and piggyback on Tom and how Clemson sucks. But but if we want to talk Gamecocks, let's talk Gamecocks. But I'm going to hold mine till next week. I'm holding Gamecock talk until next.
So, what's your response to what Tom said as a Gamecock fan? Is Tom embarrassing the Gamecock fans like I said he was?
No. You're embarrassing. You're embarrassing.
You're out of order.
Come
You're
on.
out of order. You're out of order.
There's no way you can agree with anything Tom said. There's just no way.
Tom's my man. Tom, I'm backing Tom. Tom is my man. I ain't gonna go against Tom.
Oh.
Tom's my man.
Another homer. Here we go. Homer number 2.
What's my name? Cocky for a reason. There ain't doggone wrong. I'm a homer.
Fair point. Fair point. Oh my God.
Well, Cocky, what is the reason? That's what I want to know, because the Gamecocks hadn't given you a reason to be cocky.
Okay. Last year, let's talk serious.
You mean 4 wins last year?
4 wins last year. But the reason why we had 4 wins is because all this preseason talk about Lenore's, he was going to be a Heisman candidate. He was going to be this. It went to his head.
The reason you won 4 games is Shane Beamer doesn't know how to hire a damn good coordinator.
Well,
I agree with you on that. You're right, but now he got one. He's got one. So, until Brawls proves me wrong, Brawls is going to be the guy.
Yeah, and I would say
say
blocking's important too. Blocking's very important. It wouldn't have mattered who the quarterback was last year.
Exactly. Well, see, that's what happened with Lenore. Lenore's they tried to turn him into an NFL quarterback, and he's not an NFL quarterback yet. Yeah. And they tried to change his game up, and he was going to this and this and that and that.
Yeah,
and
Shula's to blame there.
Shula messed him up. He did. And if he had let him play to his strengths, his athleticism, he would have been all right. But no, he wanted to, keep him in the pocket, do this, do that, and it messed with it. It messed with his mojo. He lost his mojo last year, and in 2 bad games early on, it just snowballed from there.
I agree with
you. He couldn't recover. Yeah. He couldn't recover, and it just snowballed.
Yeah, I'm with you. You're a little more sensible than Tom. A little more. Not a whole lot. A little more. I'll give you a little more credit than Tom.
But ain't nothing better than having an athlete playing for something, and he's playing for a contract. He's playing for a place at the table. And the only way he's going to do that is if he performs this year. So he, like I say, when you're playing fantasy football, everybody says, I'm going to take this guy. Take a guy that's on a contract year over anybody else because he's going to be balling
I'm
out
with you on
because
that.
he wants a contract.
Yeah, George Pickens. I'm with you. Cocky, thanks for the phone call.
Hey, dodge those fire trucks, dodge those ambulances, stay away from them.
Sirens coming out.
Yeah. Mike Maine says
phone call.
Carolina Gamecocks will win 10 games this year.
My God.
10 games.
In basketball.
Yeah.
In basketball. Lamont Paris will win 10 games, Mike. Is that what you were talking about?
Cocky Jake 87 on the text line. Tom from Somerville is the GOAT.
I'll tell you what, Tom's getting them riled up, isn't he? Corn Chip says maybe Tom accidentally tuned into the Clemson radio station here on accident. You would think so. Calling me a homer. I mean, I tell you what, Tom was on one today. I mean, just that. Where'd that come from?
He's sensitive. This is a make or break year for Shane Beamer, and I know Tom's tied at the hip with Shane Beamer, and it's going to hurt when Shane if he doesn't make it happen this year. If he ends up getting fired, that's going to hurt Tom in a big way. So I get it. I understand why he's sensitive.
Even though Tom and I were going at it disagreeing, I will say I do not predict Beamer to be fired after this year. I think Beamer keeps his job. Do I think they win 9-10 games? No, but I think they do enough for him to keep his job.
Like seven keeps his job.
Also, you got an offensive coordinator that people are high on that's not proven himself. I love the hire as much as anybody, but he's got to prove it. He's got to prove it.
Yep.
And Kendall Briles, I think it's a great hire, but the great hire on paper doesn't really mean much.
Ask Garrett Riley.
Yeah, we'll see. We've got to get to this Chad Morris audio. Also, a little breaking news here. The President Trump-backed daylight saving time bill did clear the House today. So for those of you, so for those of you that are in favor of the whole daylight saving hour difference, my only problem with it, like if it means, so here's my problem with it. I understand why people like it. If it's going to get dark now in the winter at 6:30 instead of 5:30, I like that. I don't like sunrise being at 8:30 in the morning. That's a late sunrise.
It's too late.
It just feels late. Maybe I'll be fine with it, but doesn't it feel like 8:30 is a sunrise?
But we got to put every state on the same standard. There's some states that don't do it right now, and
that's insane.
We gotta have some uniformity here.
Now, the only thing that I do like about an 8:30 sunrise is it means I don't have to get up near as early to go hunting, duck hunting, deer hunting. You're talking about sleeping in a little bit longer. You know what I mean?
It's going to take the deer some time to adjust to it as well.
I mean, that would mean it wouldn't get daylight until 8 a.m. 8 a.m. That's insane.
I like that. That's what time my alarm goes off every day.
Sleep in. Oh my gosh. So we'll see if it happens. A little daylight savings action. Maybe making its way to be in favor.
I knew that wasn't this something he brought up in his first term, and they're just now coming back around.
I don't know. But
I'm all for it.
Yeah, cleared the house.
We need a salary cap in Major League Baseball, and we need daylight savings time.
What did the offensive coordinator, the new-ish, not really new-ish offensive coordinator, Chad Morris, what did he have to say today? We'll have that audio for you next. Dan B on YouTube says, Cole, I am about to go throw some freedom seeds at CNC. I need to go with you because I just got me a new freedom seed thrower on Sunday, Dan B. I was telling Diesel about that, so I hadn't shot it yet. Need to go. We need to go.
You
do
didn't
that.
test drive it?
No.
Wow.
No. We need it. We hadn't. Me and you went a couple of years ago over there to CNC, I believe.
Same place. Yeah. We haven't been back to that store in a while.
No, we need to go over there and let some rip. Need to let them rip. I just don't shoot enough. Like I hadn't shot target since that day. I hadn't shot in 2 years. I mean,
really?
I don't shoot near as much as I need to when it comes to pistols.
That's about right.
It's been a long time. I shoot shotguns a lot more than I do pistols, but we need a little Tolo outing over there, Dan. That is that would be a good idea.
How many times recently have you been out hunting and you hadn't fired a shot?
You mean like during deer season last year, for example? A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, you got to think, if I hunt during the course of one season, I may hunt 45 times. And, obviously you don't shoot 45 times. So a lot. Now, duck hunting and stuff like that, you shoot pretty much every time if you got good spots. But no, it happens. I shoot shotguns a lot more than I do pistols. I need to go back out, especially now that I got my new one, Dan B. Need to come out there. Need to throw some of those freedom seeds. I like that, by the way. Freedom seeds.
G on the text line says Tom's idiot. What are you trying to say? Tom's an idiot. Yeah. I think is what G is trying to say.
And Spartanburg J says, guys, what happens if Clemson is actually an 8 to 10 win team, beats USUCK, you suck, wins the ACC, makes the college football playoff? Has Tom or any of the Dirt Peckers thought about that? I don't know if Tom's thought about it. I'm sure they don't want to. It's possible. It's possible. We'll see. The schedule's favorable enough for them to do so. We'll talk about that. Texter from the 772 says, does Cole like hunting or fishing more? That's like choosing between your kids. I can't do that.
Everybody's got a favorite kid. Let's be real.
Parents, but I
don't have any kids, so maybe I don't know this, but that one of your kids is kind of a jerk and the other one's a sweet kid. So you got to like the sweet kid more, right?
I guess if if you have gun to my head and I have to choose, I'll go hunt. But it's hard. I don't want to do that. Let's listen. Let's hear from Chad Morris. Just a few hours ago, he spoke to the media, Diesel, talking about his first year back at Clemson. Round 2 for Chad. Here's that audio from this morning at Clemson Media Day.
Skills and drills. He's bounced all over in the summer.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So you mean hybrid? You mean like wide receiver?
Yeah, he's been all over the field.
We're talking about Chris Denson.
That's Will Vandervoort, too, isn't it?
Yep. Will was asking him about Chris Denson.
He's played some wide receiver. He's been some in the backfield. We've had him. He's just kind of been all over and still working, in there at the quarterback position. It's just kind of moving him around, trying to find a place to get him the ball.
You remember after the spring game, I had audio from Dabo post-game where Dabo said he's got a decision to make. So we talked about it then, that it was pretty much critical for Denson to make a decision. He also had a hamstring injury just a couple of weeks ago. Dabo said he's going to be fine, but a little bit of a hamstring injury. Nonetheless, he ain't playing quarterback.
I am interested if they're working him out at running back and they're working him out at wide receiver. That creates opportunities for this Clemson offense to maybe throw some trick plays out there, Cole.
Yeah.
Little slant out to the wide receiver, misdirect, let the wide receiver throw the ball.
I hope they're not in the position to have to do that, but we'll see. More from Chad.
Chad, I know it's a different team, and now that you've gotten to know the roster, maybe looking at the tape from last year, what do you think is the biggest difference you want to see from this offense compared to last season?
Well, coming from, I can't speak on last season because I wasn't here, but I can speak from the spring. And from the spring to now, the big focus point is we've got to be in shape. And we got to be ready to go. And I know that Coach Love and our strength staff have done a great job this summer of getting those guys and taking the lead from me and from Coach Swinney and Coach coordinators and what our needs are going into summer and building on that. And that's been impressive to watch our guys. And I always feel like that you grow the best through hard times. and I know they've created a lot of challenges this summer through the workouts. D-Love's done a great job with that and their staff of creating those challenging times to see a team grow together, and I think that's what you're going to see. And that's what this thing's about is just being together and creating. And the only way to do that is create some tough times together.
And those challenging times, Cole, they've created some doubters. I mean, Tom in Somerville. We know Tom in Somerville is usually pretty high on the Clemson Tigers, but he says best case for Clem sucks is to go 10-2 with losses to LSU and the University of South Carolina, then get beat in the All Cupcakes Conference Championship by 30 to Louisville.
Wow, how about that? 10-2?
Normally he'd be high on him.
Yeah, normally, yeah.
The challenges, though, that's why he's a doubter. I get it.
I think, again, going back to the previous question, I think that, this group has grown together. I think when you guys talk to those guys, they'll probably be the first to tell you the same thing, that this has probably been as challenging a summer that they've all gone through in a long time. And I think that it's forced them to become closer. I'm excited about our offensive line. I think this group is, leading by Harris Sewell. I think, he's the anchor right there, and Colin Sadler, and you got Jacobs. I mean, we've got a good core nucleus, but I think what's going to make us even better is going to be the depth that we're going to have behind them.
Your relationship with Taj is what sort of defined the start of this rise at Clemson. What gives you the confidence he's ready to be a full-time quarterbacks coach?
Well, I mean, I've been around Taj a long time, and be able to watch him grow, obviously when I coached him, grow as a player, and then be able to watch him grow as a coach. Just his ability to communicate. He's played in the system. He can articulate it extremely well. He's got a great way to connect with our players. He's got a track record. He has skins on the wall, and so they know he's been a part of this system. And when he talks, they listen, and because he's been there and he's done that. And so I'm excited for Taj. I think Taj has got a tremendous future ahead of him as just an incredible young coach. And as I just shared with him, I said, just let me continue to pour into you and grow you and teach you and some of the things that have helped me as a young coach and growing through and to become where I am today. To let me help bring you along. And he's been really receptive to that, and he's been very open and giving Taj a lot of responsibilities too. I mean, there's as all our coaches, and they all have a role, and their role is extremely important. And it can't just fall on the coordinator; it's got to fall on each one of these position coaches.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think he's really excited about his offensive line? Do you think he's excited about having a sophomore starting at left guard, a redshirt freshman at right tackle, a sophomore at left tackle? This interior offensive line, Cole, is gonna be holier than Swiss cheese.
Well, hopefully he's honest when he says that. I don't know that it's going to be great. I don't know that it's going to be bad. Youth doesn't always mean bad. Last year they were led by Blake Miller. Obviously, I talked to Blake today actually, and they were led by Blake Miller, who's going to be going off to the Detroit Lions here soon. And they had a couple of guys they could rely on. I still thought at times last year they were a little suspect. Now we'll see. It's a young offensive line, and that scares you. You've got to. Here's what you've got to figure out. You got to figure out what guys you can trust, right? You've got to figure out what guys you can trust to have out there for multiple snaps, and hopefully those young guys can blossom into some veterans pretty quickly, because they're going to go in the Baton Rouge Diesel and be asked to carry the load. I mean, immediately. We'll find out all parts of this team. We'll find out just how good they are immediately.
Yeah, we will.
I think that's going to be interesting. And real quick, before we get back to Chad's audio for just a few more minutes, I was thinking about this. I don't know how successful Chad will be in the second tenure at Clemson, but let's just say it does go well. Let's say Tate Reynolds comes in after Vizina, and Tate Reynolds is all that he's hyped up to be, and Chad and Tate Reynolds get back to the Clemson glory days that he had in 2011 and 12, and Taj Boyd obviously being a big part of that as well. Do you think, Diesel, far-fetched or not so far-fetched, if I told you 5-6 years from now that Chad Morris's second stint at Clemson was more successful than his first, what would you say?
I would say that's a little bit far-fetched.
Okay.
Only because Chad Morris's bread and butter at the time was the spread offense. And he's still going to be running a lot of spread concepts. Now, maybe that's helpful to be running a spread when you don't have a particularly strong interior offensive line and you plan on getting the ball outside of the tackles and making moves in space. I'm just, you don't see anybody run the spread anymore, not the true spread anymore, for a reason, because everybody's figured it out now. Everybody's got guys that are fast enough to get around the edge and to stop running backs and stop, shifty quarterbacks on the outside. My issue with that, and I'm not saying he couldn't have grown as an offensive coordinator since then, but when your offense was predicated on something that people have essentially figured out, I don't know how successful you're going to be the second time around.
I think what he did the first time around was so impressive, in large part due to him helping recruit Deshaun Watson, like from a recruiting standpoint. Mm-hmm. That was obviously massive. I know that he had a hand in it and he played a part in it. I don't know if he'll land a Deshaun Watson the second stint.
Yeah.
If he does, maybe he can be as successful. Well, maybe Tate Reynolds is going to be just fine, but having the recruits is what it comes back to for me. To answer that question, the question that I posed, having those guys as talented. He had Boyd. He was at Clemson for 3 or 4 years. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's necessarily like over the top far-fetched for him to be successful. If they play for a national championship, then you could say, yeah, he was more successful in his second stint, his second tenure at Clemson than he was his first. But I just think it's interesting. Let's see what happens now with Chad back, and let's see if he can give it a go and get Clemson back to where they once were.
And maybe the real litmus test of whether or not he's successful is the recruiting a year or two or more down the line. Texter says the Diesel just say no one runs the true spread anymore. I meant concepts have changed significantly. Maybe I misspoke and said that the wrong way. I just meant concepts have changed and people have figured out the spread in the last, 13 years.
Texter also says the real question is if Clemson fans have come to grips that their return to national prominence and championships is over for good. Maybe they have. And Texter, to your point, maybe they have come to grips in terms of national prominence. I'll tell you this, Diesel. I maybe you call me being a homer here, and I'm on the hype train. I don't think their runs are completely done. I'm not saying they'll return to the dominant form, that they were back in 2015, 16, 17, 18. I just don't necessarily, Diesel, know that their runs are done. I do believe in Chad Morris. Now, has the game changed? The game's changed. It certainly has. But I still think there's something there, if that makes sense. Clemson still recruits well. Have they recruited poorly over the past few years? They have. If they can get back to recruiting, though, mm-hmm. and Chad Morris can get them back to recruiting good quarterbacks, like they've got some dudes coming up. They've got some dudes they've been recruiting well. And again, I'm not calling for them, Diesel, to go on another run. But Chad Morris was there for 3, 4, 5 some odd years. He was the architect of that high-powered offense, and he leaves, goes to SMU. Things didn't work out. I'll just say I wouldn't be surprised if Chad Morris did help Clemson make a run back to the top in the next 4 to 5 years.
Also, think about it, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday or the day before. Before Rhett Lashley, who was successful at SMU? No one. Because it wasn't a place set up to be successful. Right.
Yeah.
And Arkansas, that's a really tough place to be successful. So, if you're judging him on whether or not he was competing for conference championships at SMU and Arkansas, then I think you're thinking about the wrong things.
Yeah. It's telling, though. It's telling that a guy comes back, stint 2. I just think it's going to be very interesting to see if this program. I think to your texter, or to your point, texter, like about Clemson not returning to national prominence, I think that's why this period, Diesel, that we're in, this little flux, I think that's why this is fun, because they could fall over and the ship could sink because they had a really bad year last year and they hadn't been the same. But I also think that while they had a bad year, I don't necessarily know that that Clemson's too far off. I don't think they are. I think they're a couple of pieces away from being back to the top of the conference, which what? Get you a berth into the playoff.
Right.
And this is going to expand. I don't know. I just don't think their runs are quite done yet.
This conference has shifted a little bit in the fact that Florida State is not elite as they used to be. Miami has stepped into that role. SMU has surprised people stepping into that role, being really good since coming into the conference. But it's not like they've gotten, 8 deep on contenders for this thing.
Yeah. It's interesting. We'll see. Chad Morris back, and I guess time will tell, right?
When we come back, Cole, we talked about this with Caitlin Clark last week and the WNBA and their struggles with staying on message, talking about the right things. Well, guess what, Cole? Another star, I think, has stepped right into a big old pile of talking about the wrong things. Paige Beckers, what did she have to say? And a little Dawn Staley mentioned next.
Whoa.
You know, Cole, it was a big deal the other day when the WNBA commissioner basically flaked on Dan Patrick on his show. Dan Patrick was trying to have the WNBA commissioner on to talk about the state of the league, especially after all of the weirdness that happened after the Caitlin Clark situation blew up. She blew him off. And of course, I saw people all over the internet screaming about that. She doesn't owe Dan Patrick anything. And then there's people saying Dan Patrick's one of the biggest names in sports talk and ESPN, Sports Center coverage history. You go on his show when you get the opportunity to go on. But Cole, the WNBA has a problem with messaging, and they don't quite know how to get over the fact that people don't really want to talk about the game. There are some people who want to talk about the games.
Very few.
But the vast majority, anytime the WNBA comes up, it's when something like this happens. When Paige Beckers, one of the biggest young stars in the league, decides not to talk about the games, but saying out of nowhere, unprovoked, Cole, that they need to do a better job for equal opportunity and discrimination in coaching hiring, specifically as it pertains to the lack of black female coaches in the WNBA right now, disregarding the fact that the only black female coach in the WNBA was just fired by her team after having a 97-89 record, going to the playoffs 4 times and winning the in-season Commissioner's Cup. Maybe the WNBA doesn't know how to hire quality coaches. It doesn't matter what you look like. Can you win games?
Yeah. Well, again, that sounds like something Stephen A. Smith has said or would talk about, and again, that's merit. I mean, if you're big on merit, then you understand what you're talking about there, right?
Yeah.
Being qualified to do it, it doesn't matter what your skin color is. You're good or you're not.
The Seattle Storm, Cole, fired who was the only black female coach in the league last year, who had a plus 500 record. You know where they are this year? 6-19. 6-19. You had a really good coach. You let her walk.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. Let's get into Clemson. Tom in Somerville. Sorry, Tom, but big show today. We had Clemson Media Day, and we'll rehash it. We've still got 2 more interviews. We've still got 2 more interviews.
CJ Spiller coming up.
And Nick Eason.
Coming up.
Defensive line. A lot to get to.
6:20.
Sorry, Tom, but we're keeping it rolling right here on the Fan Upstate with the Clemson Open House Media Days from earlier today.